This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. It's going to be another cold and clear day. Sunshine with increasing clouds this afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 40s, and it's currently 32 in downtown Seattle. How many pancakes can you eat? Introducing Sherry's Endless Pancakes. Get all the fluffy buttermilk pancakes you like for just $6.99. Upgrade to a combo with eggs, bacon, or sausage, hash browns, and Sherry's Endless Pancakes for just $9.99. Visit sherrys.com for a location near you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
The stars did not align. It is 5:45. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Why are you speaking German?
I watched Andrew Zimmern going to Munich yesterday.
Was it? I watched him on the Romantic Road, I believe it was called.
Oh.
Who knew Germany had a romantic road?
I would know that I believe you.
I thought it had a hurry up and go where I say. Road. That wasn't terrible.
That was not
really.
terrible.
No.
Thank you. If everybody sounds a lot like Schultz over there. No, it was this road, and it drives through. I didn't watch the whole thing because it wasn't one of my favorites, but he drives through 8 medieval towns that are walled,
Nice.
completely walled, and about
cool.
2,000 people live in each of them. There's castles and turrets. It looks like Disneyland with people with bad dispositions.
That sounds nice.
They hid their bad disposition, by the way. It seemed like Disneyland in Lederhosen.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very...
Disneyland and Lederhosen.
Disneyland and Lederhosen.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's the only way I go, for goodness sakes. So, I feel like I shamed myself yesterday twice yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And well, thank you for your concern. Nice. So I got up, and I have a collection of Vans shoes that I get most of them either just downtown at the Vans store or online. Amy orders them for me, and they're cool, and I like them. I have 8 pairs or something like that. And I was wearing the blue checkered Vans. So I look and I see blue hoodies that are going to match these shoes. I'm going to look adorable. I'm going to grab my blue hoodie, my robin's egg blue hoodie to match my robin's egg blue checkered Vans, and I'm going to love myself. So I throw on the hoodie, and I'm getting ready to go, and luckily or unluckily, I don't know, I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror or the window or whatever it is, and it's not my regular blue hoodie. It's a different blue hoodie. It's the blue hoodie I stole from Battle of the Network Stars.
Yeah.
And it's got 2 or 3 different patches on it that say Battle of the Network Stars.
Now, did you steal that, or did they let you have it?
I didn't ask, so
Okay.
I would assuming they let me have. They let me have these shoes that couldn't be salvaged after that tug of war and all that stupid stuff. Although it was a real good payday to fool around with a bunch of other has-beens and hang out and have food catered. So I'd do it again. It was worth doing. So I think my first thought is bitching. All right, awesome. Battle of the Network Stars, kind of like a trophy because I didn't win, which is all I'm going to say because I'm not going to say I lost by a record amount. Remember that when they said that?
Yeah, it
They
turns
said-
out that's your only trophy.
Oh,
from
yeah,
Battle of the Network Stars.
absolutely. That and a pulled muscle in my butt, swear to God. So I think that's cool. First of all, it's a fine functioning hoodie.
It's a nice
right?
hoodie.
Yeah, it's a nice hoodie. Why not wear it to work? Still matches my shoes. Life is great. But now at this new place, you work at iHeartRadio, not all, but some of the radio stations that iHeartRadio owns are in this building, like 10 of them. Now, this show has me, you, him, and her. That's 5 people for this radio show.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a minimum of 3. So I pass 30 people to get, because we're the dead last radio station, like on the walk, if you will.
Right.
We're the first or last, depending on how you enter the building. So I think, man, I'm going to pass 30 people at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're all going to see me in my Battle of the Network Stars that has the word star on it.
Yeah.
Do you start to get to see how this is embarrassing? And I chickened out. I didn't wear it. I took it off.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't want to be the guy traipsing down the hall wearing a, hey, man, look what I accomplished 40 years ago. What'd you do? And then Anthony from Kiss in 93 will go, I wasn't born for the next 12 years, Danny, so it's a nice hoodie. So I didn't wear it. I didn't wear it because I thought it'd be too weird, and I liked it.
You look really good today. I like
Well,
your
thank you.
Muhammad Ali and your Adidas hoodie.
Thank you. I have the cool Adidas shoes that I wanted to wear with them. I couldn't find them this morning. My house is my portion of my house is
I'm disappointed.
such a mess. Yeah. I know. Amy and I sometimes do the Run DMC thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Yeah.
the Adidas sweatsuits and the Adidas shoes.
Right.
But she won't learn any Run DMC songs. I don't know why. What's wrong with her?
Like you guys are gonna go perform
We would.
somewhere.
I would.
They would do that.
What? Yo.
I've seen you guys do some dance routines
We
before.
have dance routines for a lot of stuff. That show Modern Family, dun, 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 or however it goes. We have a full dance routine to that. We don't even watch that show.
I don't think Run DMC did a lot of tap though.
No, I see your point, but it's arm gestures that make it. You gotta match them up. So I was shamed. Man, I was shamed a bunch of times. Tori helped me out here. The underground record and novelty stuff in Ballard. What's it called?
Jive Time Records?
Is that what it is? Where you go down?
Bob Street Records.
Nope. They weren't open.
Sonic
What is that?
Boom.
You are no help and you're
Archie
wordy.
McPhee.
So it's a cellar or a basement. You've spent a bunch of time and money there. It'll come to you. It won't come to me.
Neptune Records.
All right, then. So I went at some
Silver platters.
Filene's basement. I don't know. So anyway, I go there and you walk down these stairs. And when Amy and I go into any of these retro stores, we have the same little joke we say every time. First one to say it, wins something maybe. We say, first one to find a picture of me gets $5 because there's always pictures of me in retro stores. Always.
Oh, yeah.
There's never not one. In record stores, you can find one. So we go in there. We say first one to find pictures of me wins $5. And so I go shopping around. I kind of forget about it. If you're going to look for a picture of the Partridge Family in a used record store, it's not like a trick. It's going to be right there, maybe several times. So I'm not even bothering. It's just a thing we say. So I see this awesome full-length mink coat. Oh my, I don't know how big this lady was, but the thing is, it has no buttons. And how you tell a girl's jacket from a man's jacket, if they fit, if it's the same jacket, is the buttons are on the left side versus the right side, right?
Yeah.
And the zipper would do the exact same thing.
Or the other way around. I can never remember which, but they're different.
Well, I'm wearing one right now that says it's on the right side. Men are on the right, women are on the left. No buttons on the side. It's more of a cape that goes all the way around and has armholes. I don't know why. But I looked at like several of them. None of them had buttons. Maybe it's not a thing the year because I don't know when they came up, but they look like they came from the 20s. And they're bitching. And this lady that wore it was big and about my height, and it was awesome. So I wear it through the store. First of all, I have to climb on like 9 things because it's hung up probably at a place where they don't want you to get to it, but I will not be delayed, man. So I get it down, put it on, and the place is huge. You go down into a bunch of stairs, down into it's all basements. You keep going downstairs. You keep going downstairs.
It's the Fremont Vintage Mall.
It's the Fremont Village. It's so funny. My pager's going off at the same time that my
Your
wife's
what?
at home going, the Fremont
Your
who's
pager?
it? My text in my phone is going off, so I'm sure she's telling me what it was too. So I got the cool mink coat on, and I'm digging it. I'm looking in mirrors. I'm not wrong. It's awesome. And Amy, who is mean and never loved me, mocks me relentlessly and says this as if she's going to dissuade me. Well, if you want to look like Howard Eskin is a big-time sportscaster in Philadelphia, and he's known for this picture. Like, I don't know if it was a Super Bowl. The Eagles never been to a Super Bowl. So, big football game, and he's wearing a giant fur coat with a big, almost, the collar on it goes up. He looks like a fur-clad Wolverine Elvis because he has crazy hair, this guy. And he's kind of a dick, to be honest with you, Howard Eskin.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's this gigantic star, and it's like, cross state lines, man, and say the name Howard Eskin, see what happens to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, but he's good. Hey, we worked with his son. He was very good. But now I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to wear my hoodie that says Battle of the Network Stars, and now I'm ashamed to wear my girl's full-length mink coat. What the hell is the world coming to?
So she wouldn't let you buy it?
Well, she would have let me buy that wallet on me and everything, but as a matter of fact, I was the only one who bought anything yesterday. I bought I think it was Merle Haggard's greatest hits, but I'm not positive.
I'm so disappointed. I think I'm mad at your wife for not.
We're all mad at my wife.
Supporting your decision to buy a Howard Eskin fur coat.
Well, here, see, that's why she talked me out of it, because I'm wearing a Howard Eskin fur coat. Because
Yeah.
I'll go on Twitter with pictures of myself saying how bitching am I, and two things are going to happen. One, they're going to say fur is murder, and other people are going to say you murdered Howard Eskin and stole his coat. I don't want either of that stuff. I wanted to wear my Battle of the Network stars, but it really wasn't much of a battle, and nobody was much of a star.
The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deputy-involved shooting near Granite Falls last night. It happened around 8:30 p.m. east of Granite Falls on Mountain Loop Highway. A 34-year-old Linwood man texted a friend saying he was suicidal. That friend then called police. They located his vehicle near a winter road closure gate. When deputies responded, that something went on. We're not exactly sure what, but one of the deputies fired multiple times. The victim was airlifted to Harborview. His condition is not known at this time. No one else was hurt, and as is protocol, that officer has been placed on administrative paid leave.
Did the suicidal guy have a gun? That's what I'm assuming.
I don't know.
They didn't release it?
No.
I just read a story. There's a cop, and I don't remember where it is because it doesn't really pertain to us except that how humanity goes. A cop got fired for not shooting a guy. I'd never heard of such a thing.
I haven't either.
He got one-on-one situation. The guy says he's suicidal, has a gun, and I don't know if he raises it or not, but he says, "Listen, man, don't do this. Everything's going to be all right. You'll be okay." Two other cops get to the scene and yell at the guy, and he raises his gun, and they shoot him dead. I think everybody may have done the right thing. I'm not positive. You raise a gun to the police, you're going to get shot, and everything's all right with me. But then they went back to the station house and said you endangered other people, which I didn't see in the facts of the story. But they fired a guy for not shooting a guy.
Yeah, the other two responding officers said that, that officer had frozen up and that he wasn't, capable of being a cop. Whereas he says that he was trying to talk the guy down and that it was having some success.
Well, his side wins because he sued and won. So,
Right,
But he only won $175,000.
Like 150 grand, something like that.
Yeah, 3 years of pay.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the police department, it
Right.
might have been more. Human remains were discovered on a hill near downtown Tacoma. Police spokeswoman Loretta Cool said the body was spotted just before 4 p.m. near North Schuster Parkway and South 4th Street. Remains were completely recovered yesterday, and they found the body, put guards at the scene, were able to recover it. We do not know anything yet about age or gender.
Well, we do know that somebody has the best last name ever.
Loretta Cool?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your name? Cool. And I earn it every day. If she married the head of North Korea, her name would be Loretta Uncool. Huh. Just thought I'd tell you guys that because, you need to know this stuff.
Well, if you listening out there are having breakfast, you might want to stop. A Southern Oregon woman is the first known human to become infected with the Thalasia gulosa
Not that.
cattle eye worm.
Ew.
It's so
Does
gross.
she have a cow in her eye or a worm?
I think she has a disease that affects cows' eyes, but I'm not positive.
She has multiple worms coming out of her eye. She
Ew.
called the infectious diseases hotline and says, "I have worms coming out of my eye." 14 tiny but tenacious is their description.
One of my favorite bands.
Tiny but tenacious worms were removed from her eye. The eyeworm larvae are spread by flies that feed on tears. They were previously only seen in cattle.
That is the most tragic thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why are you like this? I feed on tears. Oh my God, I will take your soul.
They believe that she was infected while working near cows or horses at the family farm. She had some eye irritation, and that's when she pulled one of the worms out of her own eye. Went to.
Okay, that's kind of bitching, to be honest with you.
I wish I hadn't seen the pictures, but they're this
Oh,
tiny.
there's photos?
Yes, it's gross.
You ever had worms of any kind, Paul?
No, I have not.
As jelly bean?
No.
God, dude, man, I had a ringworm one time. And it's the weirdest thing because I was so embarrassed because I didn't even know I was a kid. And I didn't even know what caused it. It's a perfect circle of pink on my lower stomach.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show people, but it just sounds so gross. So I said, somebody threw a bottle at me. And left a perfect circle. I don't think anybody believed me. It was kind of weird.
What I don't understand, though, is
I still don't know how I got it, by the way. I lived in a nice house with a nice place with my mom and
ringworm
dad.
is common among wrestlers, and you get it from the wrestling mats. So if you had been doing any sort of kung fu, or what were you doing? Ninja fighting?
Yes.
what's it
He was
called?
doing all
ninja
of that.
fight. He was
Ninja
doing
fighting.
ninja fighting. Yeah.
That maybe it was gym mats.
Yeah,
I-
no.
But I wasn't positive.
I don't know that my body has ever hit a gym mat until I was 30.
But I thought ringworm wasn't actually worms. Like, this is worms physically coming out of her eyeball. I thought ringworm was a skin disorder.
No,
It's
I
a-
have no idea.
It's a fungus.
Among Us?
A fungus among us. And so you might have gotten it like rustling around. If
Yeah,
you know
I
what
take
I'm
that
saying.
back now that I think about it. Because I was thinking school mats. But gym mats at the karate school since the age of 11.
Karate.
probably.
That's what I was going for.
Ninja
Ninja
fighting.
fighting. Same thing.
That's
So
where you
did-
probably got it then.
Did they have to take something out or it went away?
No, I really remember. I'm really young for this. You rub some kind of ointment on it.
And Tori, why
sounds
do you
fun.
know what ringworm is?
I looked it up, and
Okay.
also I remember you mentioning it earlier.
Did you have it?
No, ew.
I'm
Derek?
thinking she had it. She's on.
I think she just called you gross.
I'm the only person in the world that had ringworm.
Yeah.
They make an ointment specifically for it.
You
Oh,
know
well.
who had ringworm?
Who?
Hapa Day from Guam,
Oh,
guys.
of course, Abba Dib Wam. And I understand just real briefly. Did you get rats yet, Tori?
I did.
Are you going to kill them immediately?
I might, but they're so
Oh,
cute.
Tori.
I didn't mean to. It's never on purpose.
Right, it's never on purpose. Your dad knocks him in a room, starves him. Don't think I'm ever going to forget that I'm scarred by your dad. So you got 2 rats. What are their names?
Charlotte and Elise after the Cure song.
Yeah, no,
Aw,
that makes perfect
your
sense.
songs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should
They're
we put
babies?
Should we
They're
put
babies.
a death watch up like a clock?
Well, that's
no.
what I
A
wanted-
countdown
kills
clock,
them?
take bets.
Till
How big are they right now?
Probably the size of my pointer finger.
Okay, and how big are they going to get?
Maybe like.
About the same size because
No.
they're not going to live for a week.
Oh my gosh! Hate! Wow. Maybe
Why
like
would they? I
6
don't understand.
inches.
It. Why would they get to be the same size as the Pointer Sisters? That seems stupid. Those people are giant compared to rats.
Like 6 inches probably. 7 inches.
That's what they all say.
Oh God.
I'm thinking maybe 6 months.
All right.
What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking about killing rats by hand. The clock, it's terrible.
In national and international news, a 14-hour standoff ended in Detroit, but with a heavy toll. Police say 3 women and the gunman are dead, and 3 police officers were shot. All 3 officers, 2 from the city and 1 from the Detroit Public Schools, were hit in the legs and will survive. The gunman was identified as 49-year-old Lance Smith, although what sparked the initial violence was unclear. They think he might have been suffering from a mental illness. Responders went to this house after they got calls about shots fired. When they arrived, that gunman opened fire on the cops. He eventually killed himself, but not before killing his 3 victims.
Oh, it's awful.
Terrible, terrible story. Thousands of travelers booked on Southwest Airlines flights out of Chicago's Midway Airport had to change their plans after the airline realized they had run out of de-icing fluid for the second time this winter.
Do they have a comedy routine worked out to tell the passengers they ran out of de-icing fluid?
If you'd like your ice with the drinks, you drink with ice, you've come to the right airline.
Now, this is something you would imagine a place like Chicago would have a lot of, considering it's really cold every single year. But they ran out of de-icer, had to cancel about 250 flights. And
Yikes.
yesterday they said things had started to get back to normal, but Midway is a very busy airport.
Yeah, it is. It's the other one that isn't Chicago O'Hare, right?
Yeah.
It's up the street. It's a real good alternative. And by the way, has anybody ever listened to this song all the way through?
Of course.
No.
What
It's
do
a
you mean?
genius song. I didn't know that. It's
No.
like brilliant.
Liar. You've
never-
never listened to this all the
Okay,
way through.
maybe on repeat like 27 times.
One of those things is possibly true.
So does Southwest, like, it just affected Southwest, no other airlines?
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is.
They can't
Yeah,
go
you
over
go-
to United and be like, can I borrow a cup of de-icer?
Yeah. De-icer. I didn't even know she was frigid.
There's a video spreading rapidly across social media that shows a bunch of wild pigs checking out a dumpster, which isn't that big of a deal. You figure wild pigs go into dumpsters like raccoons go into dumpsters. Only one of them is a monster. They are calling it a monster-sized wild boar that is standing up on its hind legs to raid the dumpster.
Neat.
Somebody took video of this, and it shows the gargantuan pig digging through the dumpster while 2 piglets stand by waiting for mommy or daddy to give them
2
some
piglets are
food.
what I like to call them lunch and dinner.
Wild boar are common in this area of Hong Kong where the video was shot. And they said normally they steer clear of urban areas, but this time they knew there was some good food in the dumpster. So there's video that shows this gigantic, the biggest boar you've ever seen. And the video is up right now at KZOK.com.
Also up at KZOK.com, details on how you could win that trip on the
Nice.
contest tab.
An Arizona woman has woken up with 3 different accents 3 separate times in the past 7 years. And doctors say it is a condition, very, very rare disease that causes huge headaches. And when she wakes up, she talks like she's from a foreign country.
And now the doctors have backed this up that this is really happening.
Yes.
Because I'm calling shenanigans even with doctors.
Yeah.
You're lying.
She
I and Bigora. I got 9 callers every day that have 7 different accents.
Yeah.
I think that's part of what she says is the problem is most people don't believe her. She is a former Miss America contestant, a beauty queen. She has never left America. She said that normally the accent will last about a week, but then what happened the first time was she woke up speaking with an Australian accent. That lasted a week. Then she suffered a headache that was so severe that she went blind in one eye, couldn't move the left side of her body. And she woke up with a British accent, and that's what she's had ever since.
So she was a Miss America contestant, not a winner.
Yeah.
So she's going to win this. It's called the I'd really like to be on TV disease. Crikey.
First Irish, then Australia. Now she says it sounds like Mary Poppins. I don't even know how to pronounce my kids' names properly anymore because they have an English accent now.
Oh, your kids' names are and but I will tell you this: you want to impress me? Wake up and speak a foreign language that you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen, right? There's cases of that.
Yeah.
Or know some cool trick or play the piano. But a person that was in a beauty contest and didn't win, so it's a person put the spotlight on me, let me wear the swimsuit around, and I didn't win. Or didn't win. What should I do now?
Just in time for Valentine's Day, there is a new post up on Craigslist that has people talking. This is for residents of Los Angeles. For $700, you can have your discreet love affair at my house in Echo Park. Are you having a long-term affair, yet you're sick of the high cost and sterility of corporate hotels? If so, I have something unique to offer you. It's a place for you to conduct your affair. Now, this poster...
You want to know what else it is?
What?
Bugged. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah. So
To
blackmail.
blackmail?
Yeah. You know, the rooms, nanny cams and stuff like that. Don't fall for this. Go to someplace nobody's expecting you. Nobody knows you. Don't use your credit card. Don't be insane. Have an affair at the Holiday Inn like normal people. But don't go to somebody's house in Echo Park. And by the way, what happened to Echo Park?
Is it not nice anymore?
No, it used to be full on dangerous, and now people are betting because it's got a lake.
Mm-hmm.
It has a beautiful lake and a jogging track right in the middle of downtown Los Angeles. Houses should be worth billions there, but the gangs won't move. But anyway, don't do this. The place is bugged.
Now, if you were having, back in the olden days, we'll say, since your wife is listening. Hi, Amy.
Well, whether she's listening or not, I don't have affairs.
Back in the olden days.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
let's
hear
go
about
with
this.
that.
I'm going to hear about this when I get home. Why does Sarah think you'd have an affair? She doesn't, dear. She's being wacky.
No, back in the olden days when you
Right.
did do bad things in your marriage.
To
What
a
if
different wife.
Yes.
She make that clear. She listens and hates you, and rightly so.
your other wife, if you had a
I don't
long,
have another wife. I have an ex. Why are you so cruel to other women?
if you were having a long-term affair
Yeah.
with Becky,
Yeah.
wouldn't you want just a regular place to go, like a house?
No.
You'd still want to go to the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, absolutely. And not the same Holiday Inn twice. No, it's crazy. You know,
Seems like
especially
a lot of effort.
it's a ton of effort. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you don't have a job and have any money and that quality of woman that you're cheating with, because first of all, somebody you're cheating on your wife with is not a great quality of woman, no matter how much you want to say, oh, she's a great woman. She loves me for me. She's cheating on your wife with you. She's a bad, bad person. And I would not want any witnesses in your house, and you can't leave that house completely unsupervised. It's kind of like, what are those? You rent a house
Like
at
an
a hotel.
Airbnb?
Yeah, there's people who run that, people who give you keys. You can't just leave
Sure.
that door open. What you're doing is manufacturing witnesses to your own crime.
Well, if people want to save money, they can come over to my house and do it for free. And I promise it's not bugged, but I am going to watch.
Cool. I'm in.
So creepy. In this day and age, if something doesn't go your way, what do you do?
Complain about it on the
again.
internet.
Oh,
Complain about it on the internet. Paul wins a gold star.
Yeah, I go to Yelp and I say, hey, that was terrible.
Well, most people, they go to social media. You go to
wait, what's
Facebook.
the question?
If something doesn't happen, doesn't go your way, if you are unhappy with the result of something, you go to a drive-through restaurant and they forget your ketchup. What do you do?
No, you're right. You Yelp.
You go
I've only
to
done it
social
once,
media.
but I've done it.
Most people would either post a nasty review on Yelp or TripAdvisor, or they go to their Facebook page and complain. Facebook is full of people complaining or telling you that their parents are sick. Well, a waitress who did a big to-go order at an Outback Steakhouse, she put together this huge order, $735, 25 steaks, 25 chickens, 25 potatoes. She brings it out to them, and they don't give her any tip at all. She complained on social media and was fired. Well, the people who placed the order caught wind of this and said...
And this is a to-go order?
Yes.
Okay.
She said that it's a ton of work. I mean,
right.
25 steaks, 25 chickens, 25 potatoes, putting that all together. She was fired, but they found out, the people who placed this order, tipped her and then some to compensate for the fact that she lost her job. Now,
That's not quite going to compensate for the fact that she doesn't have a job anymore.
No, we don't know what they did yet.
she did not disclose how much money. She said the compensation was more than the tip would have been. And she was fired from Outback, and we have not heard them comment if they're going to offer her her job back or say sorry or say you shouldn't have complained on social media, because who's right and who's wrong.
So what's the story here? What is the thing that
Everybody's talking about this morning, that she got fired for complaining about the lack of a tip.
And you hear that, I mean, because I think most places have a policy that don't go on and badmouth the business you
the
work
business?
for.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's a real villain here, to be honest with you. If they have a policy of don't do it. I'm sorry this happened, lady, but she's, the world, the universe has a way of kind of working out to a decent order. She got, how much did you say this would have come to?
$735 total.
So 70, 140. So the tip was well more than $140. There's going to, Stuart Anderson's Black Angus is probably going to offer her a job. But yeah, so I just don't want to hate Outback Steakhouse, because I was just there and it was yummy.
Yeah, even without the blooming onion.
It was, yeah. It was still yummy, man.
The sands of time are sinking for Lucky Charms Hourglass marshmallows, which will soon be officially retired from the popular cereal.
I didn't even know there were hourglass marshmallows.
Yeah.
I know the Clovers. I think
The
that's all I
clover,
know.
the rainbow,
Yeah, right.
and I'm out.
Yeah,
Clover, the rainbow, and the hourglass.
hourglass,
Apparently,
obviously. Why an hourglass?
Because they're those sands of time.
No, they're for children. They have a rainbow, because it should be a rainbow at the end of
Yeah.
that. That's where the pot of gold is.
Leprechaun,
And
pot
what's
of
the
gold.
other one?
There's a
The
horseshoe.
Clover.
Oh,
Horseshoe, yeah.
A moon.
Horseshoe for luck.
I don't know why a horseshoe either.
There's a moon.
For luck.
And
What is this other one?
Hourglass.
A star and a heart and a balloon.
these guys have changed my Lucky Charms since I was a kid. You
Okay.
had two things and you liked them.
Derek, if you're looking on the internet, then you're disqualified as being a cheater. But bonus points for whoever can tell me what those marshmallows are actually called.
Marshmallows?
Turds.
Lucky Charms.
Marbits.
Oh,
What?
I can't
Called
believe I didn't
Marbits.
know that.
Yeah.
Isn't that animal that has a really long neck?
Give me a big
Stands
bowl
up?
of Marbits.
Give me some Marbits.
Well, they've changed the marshmallows a little bit through the years, but the Hourglass has been around for 10 years, but they are about to retire it. No more Hourglass Marbit or marshmallow.
All right, then.
Styrofoam bits in that cereal.
That's the only good part of that cereal.
No.
Yes.
It tastes like styrofoam.
But they put out a cereal that was all marshmallow parts, didn't they?
Oh, I wish
They
they
did.
did. That'd be
Didn't
awesome.
they do that? They had to have done
How
it.
did
Look
I
that
not
up
buy
there.
that?
Look at
They
just
did.
marshmallow charms.
It was something that you had to win, though. It wasn't
Oh,
something
you couldn't
could
buy
That's
them?
right,
Oh,
yeah.
And Paul got mad at me because I told that story, and then Jelly Bean
Jellybean
wanted
wanted
them.
it, yeah.
And
But we
Paul
never
could
could
not
find
provide.
it.
Well, there is a rare box of Lucky Charms marshmallows only on eBay for $5,000.
Wow. That's going to happen.
An Ohio woman had given up hope of seeing her wedding dress again after a dry cleaner mix-up 3 decades ago, until her daughter's friends saw photos of the dress on Facebook.
I think the mix-up was that the dress was white, if you ask me. Almost always is.
1985, she got married, and then the dress was put into the wrong box by a now-defunct dry cleaner. It was stowed in somebody's attic. Now, this woman went to the attic, a totally separate woman goes to the attic to look at mom's wedding dress. And she's getting married. She's like, I want to wear mom's wedding
dress, sure.
She goes up there, opens the box. She's like, this isn't mom's wedding dress. This lady had someone else's wedding dress because there was a mix-up at the dry cleaner. So she posted to social media. The original owner of the wedding dress was found, but now The woman who found the dress doesn't have a wedding dress because she can't find her mom's dress. So she's hoping social media will do the same thing. Someone will look in their attic and realize they too have the wrong
So
wedding
far, what
dress.
I'm getting from today's show and newscast is social media is the answer to everything and the cause of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like
It is.
booze.
It controls our life.
The answer to and the reason for all of life's problems.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
Remember we talked about that couple who quit their jobs. They sold everything. They got on a boat to sail the Caribbean.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely, I was jealous of you. That's my dream.
Well, you weren't jealous of the fact that right when they went to sail away, they capsized and their boat sank.
They hit a sandbar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they now...
By the way, they're kind of idiots.
Yes.
To be honest with you, you should not think that you can sail the world if you can't get out of the harbor. And even with today's electronics, but I checked out their boat and stuff like that. That boat was not fully prepared, nor a great boat to sail the world, especially if you're going to cross the Atlantic at any time.
They started a GoFundMe, a campaign called Couples Sunken Dreams. They have now raised more than $13,000 and plan on buying another boat to keep the dream alive.
You know what? I might pitch in, to be honest
Really?
with you.
Really?
I'm mad at them. Yeah, I want somebody to have this dream.
Just
People
because you
do,
want to see him sink
Because
again?
I read about it, all the time. I read about sailing. I subscribe to sailing magazines and things like that. I wish them the best. I think, they're just going to end up getting rescued again. But today's boats, you know what? And this is a trick question because you can't possibly know the answer. But do you know what you don't do on today's sailboats anymore?
What's that?
Raise sails.
Sail?
Yeah, you push a button.
Oh.
Push a button on a decent sail, and you don't even have to rinse them off to get the ocean spray off the manure because they roll right into the mast. Like you really have to.
Wow.
I mean, you still have to sail. You still have to know basically what you're doing. But your boat, a good boat, if you have a 150 grand, I can get you a sailboat that'll sail itself around the world.
A lot of people have criticized this couple for, one, not having enough experience, two, not having insurance,
Yeah.
and three, being from Florida.
But then on the other thing, they don't have enough experience. Their first night at sea is going to make them go, "Oh my God, what have we done?" It's terrifying. I used to go in my power boat. I'd go and I'd spend the night, and I would never get any sleep because you go, "Is that anchor holding? Am I going to end up on the beach? I can't see anything." And then you go out and look all around. It's like it's scary to sail, and these guys are going to get out in uncharted waters.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
When we return from our short break, what major rock band is going out on tour but without its legendary guitarist, and why? Bad news for people who are going to see the musical Hamilton here in Seattle.
Uh-oh.
And all the latest sports and Olympics news next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino. On I-5 northbound at James Street in Seattle, we do have an accident cleared to the left shoulder. And in Everett on US 2 westbound as you approach 51st Avenue, there was an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing some stop and go traffic through that area. Get ready to laugh out loud on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with LOL Comedy Nights at Muckleshoot Casino. Enjoy a full night of boisterous, joyful, free entertainment inside Club Galaxy. Visit muckleshootcasino.com for showtimes. Muckleshoot Casino, the biggest and best in the Northwest. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Alrighty, kids, it's crunch time. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Did you do anything? Did you prepare for this moment? I did. I deal with ProFlowers. ProFlowers.com. Known them for 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. I have never once been disappointed. So if you hear me saying, hey, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and you panic, don't. You can still go to ProFlowers.com. They have dozens and dozens and dozens of different bouquets that you can pick from, and they will get there by Valentine's Day. So if you failed to act when you should have, don't worry. I'm here for you because I'm in touch with ProFlowers.com. Customer satisfaction, always number one priority with ProFlowers. That's why they offer a money-back guarantee, of which you, of course, will not need because these flowers are simply beautiful every single time. And right now, my listeners, that's you, can send a beautiful bouquet, any bouquet, for Valentine's Day and get 20% off with any purchase over $29 or more. But you better hurry right now and order today. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and there's only one way to get the 20% off the gifts over $29, and that is to visit proflowers.com today. Enter my code, which is Danny, at checkout. It's proflowers.com, code Danny.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. It's going to be another cold and clear day. Sunshine with increasing clouds this afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 40s, and it's currently 32 in downtown Seattle. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. The Smart Flies Aer Lingus. That's www.aerlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, Judas Priest announced that its longtime guitarist Glenn Tipton is taking a step back from touring due to his battle with Parkinson's disease.
Yikes.
The heavy metal legends will embark on their Firepower tour starting in March, and they said he was diagnosed about 10 years ago as having the early stages of Parkinson's, but it's gotten pretty bad, and right now, he said some of the songs that are more challenging are just a little too much for him with his
poor
Parkinson's.
baby.
Yeah.
He said in a statement, "I want everyone to know that it's vital that the Judas Priest tour go ahead. I am not leaving the band. It's just that my role has changed." And he goes on basically to say he doesn't begrudge them for going out on tour. Go out on tour.
Right.
I'm not leaving the band.
What's his role then?
I think he means that he can't play the harder guitar licks.
Right. So is he going to become the rhythm guitarist, or is he just going to be out of the band?
He's not going out on this tour.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a feeling he will do, if they did anything new in the studio.
I
he'll
think
part-time.
is that what Michael J. Fox has?
Yeah.
There's got to be a big breakthrough. First of all, everybody with Parkinson's, I was going to say should, but probably does thank Michael J. Fox. He brought so much light to it.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews with that guy where he doesn't shake at all and talks about it. Says, I have good days and bad days, but when I'm medicated, I can be like this. And he's just like a person without Parkinson's. So there has been a wonderful breakthrough. I don't know the pains. I don't know what else comes with Parkinson, but at least it can be treated in some ways and it can be better.
Yeah. And the last interview I saw with Michael J. Fox, he said that it's gotten to the point where it's all the time, that the medication only does so much.
Right.
But if he's not on it, he says he makes jokes, like somebody give him a smoothie and he'll shake it up for you. You just put it in his hands, but that at this point he's shaking all the time.
I've also seen interviews with him where he intentionally didn't take his meds to say this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
We're always told to remember to read the fine print.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to buy tickets, a plane ticket, a concert ticket, you're supposed to read the fine print. Well, one guy named Duncan saw tickets for a concert. He thought, this looks fantastic. I can't believe I'm going to get such a great deal on these concert tickets. The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
He said, how is it that I can find these tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers for $41? You can't find a ticket to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers for $41.
Unless the Red Hot Chili Peppers are doing some weird thing, like a fan appreciation thing or something.
Well, he didn't really think twice about it. He bought these tickets and decided, he lives in the UK, decided to buy these tickets to Belfast to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He bought them for his girlfriend and surprised her. Well, it turns out he didn't read the details quite enough because it wasn't the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
I'm not positive that that's the fine print.
You'd think that would be the biggest thing on the
Sorry,
ticket.
what?
You'd think that would be the biggest thing on the ticket.
You would. The name of the band, the name of the act.
The Red Hot Chili Pipers. They describe themselves as the most famous bagpipe band on the planet.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody was tricked there. I think they're the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
Well, here you go. I have a little audio for you of them covering a song you might all know.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because when you actually recognize the song on the bagpipes, they're just as annoying.
Yeah.
How's it in a journey, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
Speaking of Journey, we will give you a chance to win tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard September at the Gorge at 7:20.
Will you excuse me a second while I kill Derek?
Just leave this on for the rest of the show, man.
Yep. They decided once they realized it, the girlfriend is the one who realized that it didn't say Chili Peppers, it said Chili Pipers. They went anyway. They said
Oh,
they
I'd
had-
go.
I'd go, yeah, $41.
You wouldn't go to bagpipes. You'd lose your
No,
mind.
sure, I would not, but I'd go to Belfast.
All week long, 5 times a day, you've got a chance to win a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Awards at the Forum in LA. The awards show that you control. Keep listening for the new keyword and your cue to text. You could win tickets to the show, airfare, and deluxe hotel accommodations. Your next chance to win happens at 8:10 this morning. And I don't believe there will be any bagpipes.
No, good. Although you don't know these kids today. AC/DC's got bagpipes.
Yes, they do. Police in the Seattle area are investigating a man who may have scammed dozens of people with fake tickets to Hamilton.
Yikes.
He stole paper that is the same sort of stock paper that printed tickets would be on. And police now believe that he had sold and was trying to sell tickets to Hamilton. He had been arrested.
But they're not actually tickets to Hamilton, right?
No, they're fake.
Yeah, from the get-go.
They're for Hamilton.
Now, they originally figured it out because somebody went to the show and handed them the tickets, and they said, we're actually not printing tickets like this anymore. We haven't done this in a couple of years,
Oh,
like
wow.
maybe 2 years. So even the victims would have thought they were real. They looked exactly the same. They felt exactly the same.
And it's the Paramount, right?
Yep.
Did they let the poor bastards see the show from standing room only?
I doubt it.
Oh, man, what a
Yeah.
nightmare. Because Amy went, and the tickets were $175 each, plus some kind of service. So like $400 to see a play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, and you get ripped off for that? It'd be awful.
You hear that every year with the Super Bowl. Where people spend
Yeah.
tons of money on the trip and hotel and stuff, and
Yeah.
they get to the game and they go, nope, sorry, that's not a real ticket.
I kind of blame mostly those guys, though.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, I wouldn't think about that with Hamilton. I would totally think this isn't real before I touched your tickets. I think you're a liar and you're a criminal because they're committing a felony by selling those tickets to you.
Well, and they encourage people to make sure that to use a reputable seller like StubHub. It's really hard to get fake tickets through on StubHub. This guy was selling tickets in a parking lot and on Craigslist. So if you see Hamilton tickets, be wary that they might not be legit.
You ever buy from a scalper on the street?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a terrifying moment. It's a
Yeah.
criminal, especially in New York. Did you do it in New York?
I did it in New York.
Everything about New York on the streets is scary.
I got scammed once too.
Did you? What'd you
I bought
get?
fake concert tickets.
What concert?
Oh, it was the Verve, and I was really excited to go see the
You
Verve.
got scammed because you wanted to see the Verve?
I did. It was a hot ticket, and I couldn't get in.
Remember when the Verve was hot right alongside the Verve pipe?
Yes.
Like, come on, what does that
Stop
even
it.
mean? What's a Verve? And how do you smoke it?
Can you guys tell me what's the deal with the guy
Well,
outside?
that's the deal.
Not unless you say it like that.
What is the deal with the guy outside, like, let's say a Mariners game that's not sold out, and he's standing outside saying, you got any extra tickets? I'm
Yeah.
buying tickets. Why is that guy buying tickets?
I don't know the con yet, but there's a con involved. I
Yeah.
think.
And, like, he also has 50 tickets in his hand, and he's
Yeah.
asking if he can buy your tickets.
Yeah.
So nobody
apparently
knows.
we don't know the
Yeah,
deal.
well,
Yeah, it's just some sort of ticket exchange scam, I think.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I've never bought from a scalper of that nature.
Yeah, but Paul's not buying. Paul's asking about selling.
Yeah.
'Cause he
yeah,
wants
they're
to buy
always
your
asking,
tickets.
anybody got extra tickets? I'm looking for tickets.
American Horror Story has been on for, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah.
And it's a terrifying show. Most seasons are terrifying. And even though each season is a standalone story, there are some arcs that are sort of Easter eggs, and you have to look for them.
I don't even
or-
know what that means.
Something hidden in the movie or show or game that you have to look for.
Okay, but in the TV that I would be watching, I don't watch American Horror Story, although I hear it's great. I've watched one episode. I didn't completely get who all those people were. But if I watch it, there's something I can find that other people watching it can't find unless
No,
they try hard.
It's more like
You're nodding, and she's saying no.
That's what an Easter egg is something that isn't, noticeable to everyone, but
Yes.
if you look closely enough.
So
it's
I
there.
can find it. It's on my regular TV.
Yes.
All right.
But so say Taylor Swift has a new video and there are Easter eggs hidden throughout it. Sometimes Easter eggs are hidden for people who watch a lot of a show and they'll pick them up a lot faster. So if you are watching One American Horror Story, you're not going to pick up on the Easter eggs. If somebody who has watched all the American Horror Stories, they're like, oh my gosh, I recognize that. That's from season 2. Her name's Becky. It makes sense now. And it's like a hidden
Okay.
story that
I
they
get the
want
idea.
you to know.
I don't fully understand it, but I get the idea. Okay.
Well, there are a lot of crossovers, including a big mansion in Los Angeles. It was in the original one, which was the murder house, and then it was featured in a couple of other flashes, more like an Easter egg.
In American Horror Story.
Yep.
Right.
But anyone who watched season 1 knows this Victorian mansion, the murder house.
Right.
The entire season takes place in this house. It's a beautiful house in Los Angeles. And it turns out that house was sold, but the buyers were unaware it had been featured heavily in American Horror Story.
Oh, geez. Real bad news.
Yeah.
Because I already know what happened. You know why I know what's going to happen?
Why?
Aside from the fact that it happened in my house in 1970. But my lovely wife, Amy, made me drive to the Breaking Bad house in
Yeah.
Albuquerque. It's a
Exactly.
nothing house on a cul-de-sac that's stupid, and there are other people there. There was a thing.
Throwing pizzas on the roof.
Yeah, throwing pizza. I don't even know what that means, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's awful. So they should have disclosed, especially a horror show, because the people that do that, there is the remnants of Houdini's house on Laurel Canyon. And it was a steal 30 years ago when I was house hunting in Los Angeles. It's mostly rubble, but it's Houdini's house, and it was less than a normal house. So I was going to buy it and slowly rebuild the castle. It would have been bitching. And then I found out what happens there on Halloween and
Yep,
full moons.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like creepy people crawl out. They burn candles and there's goat heads and stuff.
The
I had a
kind of
baby.
people who want to go see it, yeah. Well, in this case, they are now suing. They bought the home for $3.2 million, and they are claiming that they are inundated with fans and that they were not told this was possible. They have had people trespassing, attempting to break in because people want
Yeah.
to see the murder house, and that this
This
house,
smells like a winner to me, to be honest with you.
yeah. I don't know that I don't know what the recent rules are, but with murders, you are supposed to disclose. Granted, this wasn't a real murder.
Yeah, it wasn't actual murder.
Right, but there's going to be tourist traffic
Yeah.
there that you
Yeah.
should be, you should be hip to knowing that's going to happen.
They are suing for $3 million.
Is that what the house cost?
No, the house cost more. They're suing for $3 million for fraudulent concealment.
Fraudulent concealment.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Some of the Seattle Seahawks legends are part of a massive study of former NFL football players, and it is quietly going on now at Harvard University. Matt Hasselbeck, former quarterback who led the Seahawks to a Super Bowl in 2006, is taking part. He says he's one of nearly 4,000 players being examined by Harvard physicians, neurologists, cardiologists, and other medical experts. This is a huge study. They say the largest of its kind amongst professional football players. And other people taking part, Eugene Robinson, Jordan Babineau, Ricardo Lockett, and a couple of other former Seahawks taking part as well.
And what do they hope to accomplish with the biggest study ever?
They're trying to figure out what diseases are being caused by playing football, that it's not just CTE, it's not just
And therefore, probably going for cures as well.
cures.
Because here's what happens if they
preventative.
find out what everybody knows: concussions are kind of pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that. So what do we get when we evaluate that even more? First, we're going to get better and new helmets, and I'm all for that. But
Right.
pretty soon, already parents are letting their kids play football
Yeah.
and things like that,
Yep.
which I think is, being a kid's dangerous. That's my opinion.
A lot of parents aren't allowing their kids to play anymore. And if you analyze all of this by position, you are going to learn, okay, safety is suffering from these kinds of injuries. What are they doing on the field that's different from what another position player
First of
is
all, I
doing?
think you have to change the name safety. If you have 9 concussions,
Unsafety.
to not that safety, I think is what you got to do.
And former MLB pitcher Esteban Loaiza was arrested in San Diego on felony charges for drugs. Now, this is a very famous baseball player who, according to Baseball Reference, made $43.5 million during his career, played for the Yankees, among plenty of other teams, the White Sox, all-star appearances. He was busted with 44 pounds of cocaine and heroin.
Yeah. Is this the guy you told us about yesterday?
I told you off the air about
Oh,
this.
okay. Yeah. Because I looked him up, and because I actually got $42 million, but I'll bet you're right. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Guy that made $43 million in a short career
Yeah.
of a high-end
Well,
athlete.
14 seasons, but they think he's a drug kingpin.
Is that what they think?
Yes.
I guess you got to do something after you retire, right?
My
Keep
plan is to
yourself
play
busy.
guitar. His plan is to smuggle drugs. Because he had a car. Was it a car that had secret compartments in it and stuff?
Yeah, they're still trying to analyze exactly what it was, but he's facing charges of possessing, transporting with intent to sell.
Wow, that's awful.
Super weird.
Super weird. And for that much, although he doesn't have any real priors, right? So he doesn't necessarily have to go to jail forever.
But he's definitely going to do some time, right?
Oh, for sure. You
Gotta.
can't,
44
have
pounds?
42
Yeah.
pounds of drugs on you.
And the unfortunate modern angle of the Olympics, the Pyeongchang Games, now has recorded its first athlete to get booted because of a doping test.
Wow.
Japanese speed skater Kei Saito tested positive for a banned substance and will not be allowed to compete.
Oh, you got to be careful with this. And I'm not kidding about this. The shame and the loss of face with Japanese nationals.
Yeah.
Is a day. I hope somebody goes and talks to that kid.
Yeah.
They have a reputation for clean athletes.
Yeah.
This
But
athlete has
they
been
also,
booted.
the athletic committee has a tendency to ban stuff super fast and not let you know. A bunch of people, they had to clear a bunch of people that they were buying an over-the-counter fat burner, an NEGNC, and my asthma medication is banned.
Really?
So if you have asthma, you're out.
Wow.
You're supposed to get a pretty significant list. The fact that they kicked them out means there was something that they found that was flagrant.
And the only reason I know that albuterol is a banned substance is I heard on the news, and everybody said, we had no idea. And they gave them a break on that one, but it was banned before they told anybody.
Though this time they haven't told us what the banned substance was. Derek, what are the medal counts looking like this morning?
Currently, atop the leaderboard is Norway with 11 medals. Behind them, Netherlands and Canada both with 10. Germany has 9, and we are in 5th place with 6.
Only 2 of those places are even countries. So.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You get off that train, Paul. That's your look at sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
I will tell you a little something about 1-800-DUI-AWAY. If you get a DUI, call them. Here's the number, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. They will fight for you. There's tough laws in Washington, and they'll meet you free of charge in Seattle, Everett, or Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you get yourself a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This traffic report is brought to you by Fred Meyer. In Bellevue on I 90 westbound at Bellevue Way, the carpool lane is currently blocked, causing some delays. And on I 5 southbound at Highway US 12, there's an accident currently blocking the right lane, causing some minor delays as well. Hey, seafood lovers, Fred Meyer has first of the season Dungeness crab, straight from the cold waters of the Pacific. It doesn't get much fresher than this. Bring home fresh wild Dungeness crab for just $5.99 a pound. Fred Meyer, what's on your list today? I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know how awesome it is when you wake up in the morning and you feel refreshed? You feel like you got a great night's sleep. For so many of you listening, I know that doesn't happen often, and I'm going to guess that the problem is the pillow you're sleeping on. It's time to change to a My Pillow. I did, and it changed my life. A lot of you are probably tossing and turning, flipping your pillow over to the cool side, or perhaps folding it in half, trying to scrunch it up so it supports your neck. None of that will happen with My Pillow. It stays cool and it stays fluffed up. You won't have to reshape your pillow in the middle of the night when you sleep with a My Pillow. Plus, it's machine washable. You can make it like new, just like that. They've got a great deal right now on the 4-pack special. 2 My Pillow premiums, 2 Go Anywhere My Pillows for half off if you use my promo code KZOK. Call them at 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756. And don't forget the promo code KZOK. Works on the website too, mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com with promo code KZOK.
It is 7:03 in the morning. What does that mean to you? Well, it means that some of you are probably 3 minutes late to something, but in general, it's just 3 after 7. I'll tell you what's happening in approximately 17 minutes. That's at 7:20. We're playing a game called Whose Hit Is It? Get the right band, and you are going to go and see Def Leppard and Journey. Dig that at the Gorge. 7:20.
In the news, we were telling you about a new job available at Cadbury. They are offering a job as a chocolate taster. You'll also get to taste the new Oreo cookies because that's the same parent company.
Was that Nabisco?
It's not Nabisco.
It's not?
No, it's
What's the world coming to when Nabisco doesn't own Oreos?
but the specific job is for a new product taster and specifically chocolate. And most people say that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
But if you interview people, I've just saw a special about some of the people who work at Hershey's as factory workers for Hershey's Kisses. Neither of them, they were interviewing a couple, eat chocolate anymore.
Right.
That you're around it all day, you smell it all day.
Oh, yeah.
They don't eat chocolate anymore. Neither one of them.
No, because they've done it too much, right?
Yes.
It's like those porn guys you hear about.
They don't eat chocolate anymore?
Right, exactly. Thank you for getting on board. That's exactly how it works.
I have never worked at a fast food restaurant. I know Derek has, but I would imagine if you work at McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, you probably get turned off of French fries, which is sad.
Oh, God, it just seems so impossible. You
Yeah.
get turned off of French fries.
Well, if you're covered in the fry oil, I guess it's a little different.
think you'd smell like it all the
get what the
time.
explanation is. I just can't imagine
Yeah.
me personally. If, I went to Schick Shadle and they gave me aversion therapy and I don't know, whatever they do there, you puke up potatoes, whatever it is, I'd still eat fries, I think.
Derek, did you work the fry later? Were you turned off of French fries?
Never, but I was stoned every day, so I could just eat fries forever. And
So,
it was delicious.
have you been turned off pot then?
No, not
So
at all.
none of this theory holds true for you.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right, well, there you go. I can get on board this theory, though.
Okay.
When I was a bartender at, I think it was actually Black Angus. Might have been Kafuni, but wherever it was. I don't know if I was a full-blown alcoholic yet, but I was working on it. I was giving it a try. And you couldn't get away with drinking, even shots. You try and drink real fast and not get in trouble. But everything smelled. You could, a mint, whatever it was, you could tell that guy's drinking. And I found out, you know what a kamikaze is? Mm-hmm. Well, I would take 2 of the 3 ingredients to a kamikaze. I'd do 2/3 straight vodka and 1/3 just lime juice and slam it down. And I could get away with saying I'd had a mint or something. And I drank so many kamikazes, I can't stand the taste of lime juice anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's a perfect example of what we're
Yeah.
talking about here. Has your job ever turned you off of something? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
So Sarah was telling us that these people that are going to get the chance to work for a company that's not Nabisco, but I can't remember who they are, as a chocolate taster, it's filled with peril. You might get turned off chocolate completely, which was gave birth to the question: what is it that you have had enough of and/or too much of that you used to love and now you don't like anymore? 1-800-252-1025.
Yeah, a lot of jobs will do that to you. You start the job and you love something, and all of a sudden you work with it every day, and then you don't like it anymore.
I can't really even smell Rose's lime juice anymore all by itself. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Has your job ever turned you off something? That's the question we're asking. Let's hear from Melissa in Puyallup.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you?
We're very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
Good. I used to work at the Olive Garden, and, everybody thinks that things are made somewhat fresh there. They're not. Everything comes out of a bag and is warmed in hot water, and then little pouches are opened and then poured over noodles, which came out of a bag that were thrown in hot water and
I don't
warmed
think
up.
Melissa likes
and it's all
Olive
mixed
Garden
together.
very much.
You know, I will tell you,
Kind of slamming them.
I never thought there was anybody in the back of Olive Garden making fresh pasta. And I don't mean to defend Olive Garden. I just happen to find them yummy. A lot of people, and I don't know if I'm going to get this right or not, consider throwing a bag into hot water sous vide cooking, which is very fancy, actually. So, but I can see you get too much of anything and it's not love anymore. But I got to say the word sous vide on the radio show, so I'm good.
I thought for sure Giuseppe was back there with like cracking the egg in the pile of flour and making the fresh pasta.
Let's talk to Marie in Federal Way.
Hi, Marie.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
We're very well, thank you. What do you got for us?
I worked at an armored car company, so I absolutely can't stand the feel of cash, the look of it. Don't like to carry it. I carry plastic.
Wow, you don't carry any cash at all?
No.
That's super
Can't
interesting.
stand
That's
it.
super interesting. And in my opinion, and I don't mean this literally, this is Danny Bonaducci head. I was going to say I don't let my wife out of the house without, well, that's not how my marriage goes, but I don't like it if she leaves the house and I say, do you have money on you? And she goes, no. No, I find that danger. What kind of situation? You need to have $20 on your minimum, if not more. But I see your thing. They did a report. First, it was the report of almost every American $20 bill has cocaine residue on it.
Yeah.
And then I learned this back in my bad old drug days, and that is you could get hepatitis C
It's
for a
dirty.
$20 bill. I didn't know that
Dirty
because
money.
they rolling up, sticking up your nose, and it could cut somebody's inside of your nose. Who knew that? Ick. I'm never going to touch them again, Marie. Thank you.
Has your job ever turned you off something? That's the question at 800-252-1025. How about Brandon in Auburn?
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Very well, thanks. What's up?
So, I haven't necessarily been turned off from anything for my job, but my current manager at the place I'm currently employed at, he used to work for Safeway, and his job was quality control for the produce. So his job was to literally eat fruit all day.
Nice.
So he cannot stand like watermelon or strawberries or anything like that. Which it's pretty sad because those are delicious fruits. It's kind of sad he
Yeah.
got turned off to it.
I gotta tell you, because they're how they're good for you, full of vitamin C and things like that, carotene and who's it's what's. Yeah, I'd be bummed if I'd sue. I work for you guys and now I can't eat watermelon in the summer. Are you kidding me? There's got to be a lawsuit there.
Yeah.
And that's what tends to happen. These people working at Hershey's and Cadbury say chocolate is one of life's greatest treats unless you have to eat it every single day, multiple times a
Right.
day. Let's hear from Jeremiah in Seattle.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Good morning, Sunshine.
Morning, sweetheart. What do you got?
Well, when I used to drive over the road truck, going and picking up chicken in Arkansas, actually having to go to the live processing plant, seeing the chickens ride by in the rig, knowing that they're going to their last ride there. The only thing I could think of was a dead chicken riding, but they go in to get processed out and then coming out the final product, but seeing actually how it gets done, it's like that turned me off for chicken for a long time.
I got to tell you, that's the way a lot of vegetarians are born.
Yep.
I mean, I can't believe they ever did this. But when I was a very young man, I didn't go. I was working and stuff, but my friends went. They went on a tour of a slaughterhouse.
Ooh.
Little
wow.
kids. Yeah. And some people, I think it was Paul McCartney that became, I'm not positive of this, by the way. I could be talking out like Easter. But I believe some famous guy went to a slaughterhouse for some reason, maybe wanted to take a crazy picture for an album cover and never ate meat again.
Let's go to Tanner in Tacoma. Has your job ever turned you off something, Tanner?
Oh, yeah. When I used to work for a news station, and I would basically sit there and watch the live feed all day, And when I get home, I can't, and pretty much to this day, I cannot watch television as soon as I get off work. I can't come home and see it, but I think that's a good thing. So
I
definitely.
think maybe it's a good thing. I think maybe it's a good thing for you. I'd rather die than not watch TV anymore. If somebody told me, hey, we'll give you, because I'd say I'll take $1 million to never watch TV anymore, but I don't feel like I could enjoy the $1 million. I'd take it because it sounds crazy to say no, but then you'd get everywhere you go, $1 million would run out when you're trying to spend all that dough to keep yourself occupied and laughing, and then you'd be broke and have made a deal where you don't watch TV anymore. I don't like the sound of it.
Don and Enumclaw, did your job turn you off something?
Yes, it did. It was Pepperidge Farm goldfish.
You worked for Pepperidge Farm?
He worked at a preschool. That's all they eat.
Almost 10 years. And I cannot look at a Milano. I can't look at goldfish, anything.
What the hell's a Milano?
The cookie.
The cookie from Pepperidge Farm.
Milano cookies.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's tragic, Don.
That
I'm sorry
is
to hear that.
tragic. Although I'd rather not be able to eat goldfish and not watch TV. That's the do-all end-all for the douche, man.
Steve, in Fife, did your job turn you off something?
Yeah, Arctic Circle French fries.
Could
What?
you explain?
They cook their fish stuff in the same fryer with the French fries, and the French fries taste like fish to me.
Well, then you probably shouldn't eat them. I don't know. There's a difference between being turned off to something because you've had too much and just being correct. If your fries smell like fish, you probably I'm gonna if my fries get to my table and they smell like fish, I'm gonna look at the waiter and say, "What did you do to my fries?"
But I have wondered with a lot of fast food workers if French fries seems to me that would be the big one because you smell it constantly.
Yeah.
And that would, to me, is also very tragic because French fries is one of the greatest creations on planet
On
Earth.
planet Earth, and I remember McDonald's having to change their recipe a little bit because it was like, I don't know what, it wasn't duck fat, but cow lard.
Beef.
Do you remember
Yeah,
what it
beef
was?
fat.
Beef tallow,
Beef fat. And, 18 million Hindus said that's really bad for not only just our diet, but our religion. I got one. I worked my first radio station, 1988. I worked on a pop station. And I had to play Debbie Gibson every hour, and I can't listen to this anymore. Come on. I don't know what I was in 98.30 or 88.30 or something, but I played this literally maybe 4 times an hour.
You seem like you're digging it, though. You're
I am
kinda
kind of digging it. It's been a
into
long
it.
time, so it doesn't make me violently ill or anything. But yeah, I just can't listen to Deborah. She's Deborah Gibson now and doesn't play with it anymore.
Tim, in Puyallup, has your job turned you off something?
It has. It has. I used to work at a warehouse in Sumner, and we would unload these semi-trucks with, we would use forklifts to unload these semi-trucks, and usually everything was on pallets. Everything was nice and easy to unload. But every once in a while, we would get these pallets in, or we would get these trucks in from American Greetings.
Yeah.
This card company, and they don't use pallets. They just fill up this truck with loose boxes, completely full, with the orders all over the place. We have to figure out which boxes go to which order. And it was just generally horrible. We even had to provide the pallets, and it took like 3 people, like 2 days of work to unload this whole truck.
I cannot
when somebody could
imagine
unload a truck in 2 minutes.
getting angry when you're looking at 52,000 cards that have an adorable puppy on them. Saying, I miss you, or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you get mad about that?
I'm almost afraid to ask within the room. Is there something that a job turned you off of,
Oh,
Paul?
not this job. In fact, it's not me. My brother-in-law, he grew up a car guy, into cars. That's what he did, loved cars, and then became a mechanic, which is, great if you love cars. But after 30 years as a professional mechanic, all of his cars at home are complete disrepair because he doesn't ever want to work on them because he hates working on cars now.
Right.
That's a bummer.
I have
Lose
a
your
friend, a good
passion.
friend, who's a high-end tax attorney.
Yeah.
And got in trouble for not doing his taxes. And he's like, great. People come far and wide to go to him.
Tori, has a job turned you off something?
Yes, dogs. I did not like dogs for the longest time because I was a dog washer and they would constantly bite me and get me all hairy and wet and gross. It sucked.
That's a hard job.
It sucked. She said it like that. It sucked. With an O.
Derek, has your job turned you off something?
So my grandpa, when I was a little kid, had cows that he raised to slaughter and, have beef out of. And as a little kid, I always loved going over to his farm and playing with the cow pies. But then he put me to work on the farm, and I had to go over there all the time and do it every day. And then I just no more fun playing with cow pies anymore. Now it's just gross.
He played with
Do you wash your hands, young man?
Sometimes.
No, he doesn't.
I think it's time to play the game that's sweeping the nation. Whose hit is it?
Whose hit is it?
For your shot at tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard, September, at the Gorge. If you would like to play, call us right now, 800-252-1025. We're playing Whose Hit Is It for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard in September at the Gorge. To win, you'll have to correctly identify whose hit it is, Journey or Def Leppard, from Danny's Clue. Our contestant.
Probably Journey or Def Leppard.
Yeah, it could be, you don't know, it could be the Beatles. Oh, I hope I didn't wreck it.
Dave in Puyallup, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Dave. How the hell are you?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes, I do.
And do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes, I do.
Here we go then. Whose hit, released in 1987, reached number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 behind some sappy song by Richard Marx. MTV ranked it number 1 on its top 300 videos of all time. VH1 ranked it number 2 on its 100 greatest songs of the 80s. And AVN, Adult Video News, ranked a number 1 song to be used by strippers everywhere. So I'm sure Derek knows this one, but can you tell us, whose hit is it?
I believe that's Def Leppard. Pour some sugar on me.
Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me.
You even got the bonus.
You didn't even have to be that specific, man. You could have said, that band with the one-armed drummer thing. That's what everybody thinks about. But it is in fact correct.
The part got me.
Yeah, you're gonna go see Def Leppard and Journey. Dig that.
At the Gorge, you can pick up your tickets at the Jeep Winners window in our lobby. The rest of you, join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Whose Hit Is It?
This traffic report is brought to you by Fred Meyer. In Tacoma on I-5 northbound between Highway 16 and East L Street, we are seeing some stop-and-go traffic. And on I-5 southbound at 45th Street in Ravenna, we have an accident blocking the shoulder, causing some minor delays as you make your way through that area. Hey, seafood lovers, Fred Meyer has first of the season Dungeness crab straight from the cold waters of the Pacific. It doesn't get much fresher than this. Bring home fresh wild Dungeness crab for just $5.99 a pound. Fred Meyer, what's on your list today? I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Muckleshoot Bingo. We're going to get some sunshine again today. It's going to be cold and clear. Clouds this afternoon and highs in the upper 40s. It's currently 32 in downtown Seattle. Fridays are red hot at Muckleshoot Bingo. That's right, win an additional cash bonus. Fridays are red hot at Muckleshoot Bingo, the destination for Machine Go. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Don't go away. In just a couple of seconds, we're going to tell you everything you need to know before you get to work with the big news of the day.
Some of the stories we'll be talking about. A scary thing happened to Trump yesterday. We'll tell you what sent someone to the hospital. A big game hunter had a hunt go very wrong.
Awesome.
And the U.S. Olympic snowboarders have something very special in their uniforms. We'll tell you what.
Damn right it is. It's the big news of the day. And as always, it's brought to you by our friends at Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. You can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Donald Trump Jr.'s wife, Vanessa Trump, was taken to the hospital after she opened a suspicious letter containing an unidentified substance. The letter was mailed to the couple's apartment in New York and was addressed to President Donald Trump's 40-year-old son, Donald Trump Jr. After the envelope was opened, 3 people at the residence, including his wife Vanessa, were taken to the hospital. She complained of nausea, coughing after being exposed to this substance. The fire department said there was no indication anyone suffered any injuries. They don't think it was a biological agent. They're currently analyzing it, but she was taken to the hospital as a precaution.
Here's my opinion on this. Now, my opinion is not full-blown shenanigans, and I'll tell you why. Because that involves the president's kids and Secret Service. So what the hell? So I'm assuming she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
The nausea and all that stuff, psychosomatic.
Definitely.
It was flour.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Yeah. This happened when I was in New York, and the Howard Stern show was the morning show at my station, and somebody mailed a white powder, and it was the same exact situation. Our program director didn't tell anybody, and when people found out, they started to feel sick.
It must have mutinied. You can't not tell people that got
Oh
in
my
that
gosh,
building.
Gary freaked
And
out.
by the way, having been a guest on the Howard Stern show 20 or more times, everybody around you had white powder. That's just a heads up.
A man believed to be illegally hunting lions in South Africa ended up being on the other end.
I haven't heard the story yet, so it's way too early to go, yeah. But just so you know where my feelings lie on this matter, yeah.
Yeah.
Authorities found the man, or what was left of him,
Oh, I may have spoken too soon.
in a private game park near the renowned Kruger National Park. Now, according to the police, it appears the victim was poaching in the game park when he was attacked and killed by lions.
Did they shoot him? I hope they shot him.
Who?
That the lion shot the guy.
They ate his body,
Oh.
nearly all of it. They only left his head.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good meat on the head. Unlike pigs and cows, where there's some pretty good meat, especially
Yeah.
the cheeks. Good eating. You crunch down on a skull, and, when you're Libby the lion, or whoever this thing was, move on. Yeah, I got to tell you, not brokenhearted about
No,
this.
I hate,
Right.
I hate to
And I
say
bet
it,
you're not
but
going
me
to find
too.
anybody but the poor man's family, and I'm sorry about that. An American guy, do you know?
No, we don't know. They're not sure exactly who he is because all they found was a rifle, which is why they believe him to be a big game hunter. And now they're trying to figure out who he is because he was trespassing. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I don't want to say he got what he was deserved because mauled by lions seems like it would suck. Although if it was good enough for gladiators, it's good enough for a poacher. But yeah, I'm not brokenhearted about this guy.
If you're wondering why there is a hashtag to boycott the new children's movie Peter Rabbit, it's because of parents of children with allergies.
Well, it's for a special kind of parent, the lame ass parent who doesn't know how to parent their own children.
In the scene in Peter Rabbit, which is in theaters now, just opened up, people say it's a very good movie. There's a scene in which Mr. McGregor, who's allergic to blackberries,
Who's trying to kill the rabbits, by the way. Let's make that clear.
he gets the fruit hurled at him by the title character and his bunny pals.
What fruit?
He's allergic to blackberries.
Oh, okay.
He gets that fruit hurled at him by Peter Rabbit and his bunny pals.
In self-defense, right? I mean, he's
trying
coming
to
after
murder
him.
them. He takes a hoe and tries to beat them to death.
Yeah.
I think the movie's not even appropriate for kids at all. But the guys, they're trying to figure out a way to not get killed.
Yeah.
And this guy lets it slip. Well, I'm allergic to blackberries. So what do? They weaponize the blackberries and throw them at this guy. Now, the parents, well, let me finish. You finish your story. What are the parents saying?
Well, one of the berries ends up in McGregor's mouth, causing him to go into anaphylactic shock and forcing the use of his EpiPen.
Yeah.
One mother says, I'm pretty sure Beatrix Potter would be turning in her grave. This isn't something that was in the original book. Why is it in the scene? And a lot of the parents who have children with allergies say that this is allergy bullying.
That it's going to encourage kids at their school to try and do the same.
So the parent I heard whining was somebody's going to throw a peanut at my kid.
Yeah.
Well, tell them not to. Try that. But first of all, I'd like to go out on a limb here and tell you that I used to date her.
Beatrix
Beatrix
Potter?
Potter.
Oh, anaphylactic. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So
Maybe.
maybe. But here's the thing on this. It just makes me so mad with everybody's doing everything. Just be responsible for yourself. So if that was the only thing in the movie, well, maybe, I guess, what the hell. But I'm watching the news on a treadmill this morning at 4:30 in the freaking morning, and they're telling this story, and the Peter Rabbit and his friends are on the foot of this guy's bed. And he wakes up, and as he sits up, he says, "What are you guys doing here?" And then gets both his hands caught in bear traps. What? Is it all real? Don't we have to boycott bear traps now? Why are they even making bear traps? You don't trap bears anymore. What's wrong with you? So we're throwing blackberries? I think everybody needs to calm down a little bit and go see the movies. And when you're at the movies, go, by the way, don't throw fruit.
Yeah, I think you can tell your kid don't do most of the things that are going to happen in a movie.
Don't kill rabbits in a vicious, horrible way that apparently is funny to some people. But I just hate all these things. Oh, at my son's school, there are no peanut products of any kind.
Yeah.
Oils, derivatives, peanut butter, because some kid who doesn't go there anymore had an allergy. And I said to my son, because I hate these communist hippies he goes to school with anyway, I said in this voice, "Well, I'll go there and I'll talk to your teachers." And he said, "Please, Dad, don't," because that's way more horrifying than me come to your school and kill somebody.
The Olympics are in full swing, and the NBC Olympics Instagram account posted a picture of one of Team USA's snowboarding jackets.
Yeah.
So everybody who is on Team USA has snowboarding jackets, and inside the jacket is a list of English phrases translated to Korean.
Oh, that's neat.
There are also conversion rates, time zone change, and a Celsius to Fahrenheit chart. Some of the phrases include, "Which way to the Olympic Village? Do you speak English? Can you help me? Hello, I love you. Do you want to go sing karaoke? What's your zodiac sign?"
So, is that a Doors song? "Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name?" Is that the Doors?
Right.
Okay. I don't hate it. What
It's
I would say,
cute.
what I would have, I'd have a little piece of paper in my in the snowboarder's jacket that said, "Hey, I'm American. Learn to speak English." That's what I would say.
And this is just the snowboard team?
This is just the snowboard team.
So they figured these guys are going to be so high that they've got to put stuff in their jacket. Like, can you please help me get back to where I'm supposed to
How
be?
do I get to the Olympics?
Right.
That's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones at 1-800-DIVORCE or GoldbergJones.com. Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men.
Coming up in just a couple of seconds. What a packed show. It's Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Oh, what glorious high beams you have gotten to experience over the past few days. Overhead, there have been some nice firm rays of sun pressing up against you. Is that a sunbeam in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Tomorrow, cumulonimbus clouds blow in. It's going to blow a lot harder as the night goes on. 48 for the high, 38 for the low, but all that blowing will have one explosive result. Oh, yes.
Usually does.
Big, stormy, wet spot is headed our way.
Wow.
The rain returns tomorrow. What else comes again? Me on Thursday on command. See you then with the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
Whoever you're talking to is at least 30 years younger than I am. My goodness gracious. Hey, man, IHOP is doing something very groovy. And, we have all confirmed that you're an American if you don't like pancakes. So how about some free pancakes, my friends, at IHOP? They aren't just about pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, all served with a side of pancakes. Pancakes. So if you don't want to, you don't have to choose. You can get everything. So keep listening this hour for your chance to win $25 IHOP gift card.
This traffic report is brought to you by Muckleshoot Bingo. In Tacoma, seeing some delays on I-5 northbound between Highway 16 and East L Street. And over on I-5 southbound near Ravenna at 45th Street, we have an accident currently blocking the shoulder, causing some stop-and-go traffic. Muckleshoot Bingo celebrates seniors every Wednesday with special senior discounts. That's right, every Wednesday, seniors with a current VIP card are eligible to receive special discounts on each 9-on purchase. Wednesdays are senior discount day at Muckleshoot Bingo, the destination for Machingo. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 2 minutes after 8 a.m., and I'm going to tell you about the iHeartRadio app. It's very cool. You're in charge of the music that you hear with custom station tailored just to your taste. Start searching the artists that you love, and the iHeartRadio app creates a station just for you. Is everything I'm saying putting me out of a job? Hey, we'll create a radio station just for you. I don't want Tucci on it. Well, anyway, the iHeartRadio app is awesome. So thumbs up songs, personalized stations just for you. It's just that easy.
And we're there too. So if that's what you want to choose
really?
for you,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
of
Okay,
course.
I didn't know.
You can
For now.
stream us there. You can podcast us there. It's all on the app, and it's all for free.
Cool.
Well, we had a story making news about a guy who got into a physical altercation with his roommate. And at the heart of the matter was Cap'n Crunch.
Right.
He refused to seal the cereal. When you pour a bowl of cereal, when you're done, you curl it up, you put a chip clip on it, and it stays fresh. It doesn't get stale.
Who owns a chip clip?
Everybody.
Nah, my wife does. I don't. If we ever get divorced for any reason, she can have the chip clip.
Well, you did admit to doing this as well. And
I do it semi on purpose because I think I say like a fine wine, but I mean like a cheap cereal full of sugar. I think the soggier they are, the better. If they're stale, I happen to find them better. But I also think shut up, it's cereal.
but your wife hates it.
Right.
Therefore, you are the most annoying person to cohabitate with.
I actually go number one on the toilet seat on purpose. don't tell her. I think she might be asleep. No,
surprise
for real.
me.
If you put her clip chip, and if you think I'm going to ever own something like this, it's a hand. It looks like it's hands praying, and then you squeeze the back and they open up.
Yeah.
What a bunch of work for Captain Crunch. Get a new box.
But it's cohabitation, you know, whether it's your spouse or a roommate, that's annoying behavior because it's shared food. If it was only your box, then
It is only my box.
feel free to let it get stale and gross. But, you know, when you're cohabitating.
So you're out either way, by the way, young lady.
What do you mean?
Because not only would I not chip clip it, I ram my hand into the cereal, make a fist, pull out as much as I can possibly fill out, and get most of it in my mouth while the other rains down my cheeks and chin onto the floor.
And you wonder why I don't ever extend a bag of chips to you, that I have to shake them out so your fingers don't touch
Do you
them.
know that's a running joke in my house? If anybody grabs anything, we both go try it at the same time as fast as we can. Go, oh, fine, now nobody can have any. So, we know about your proclivities to not eating chips.
Well, you've admitted to some of your annoying habits, but have you cohabitated with someone that had habits you found annoying?
Well, I think that I'm getting kind of outed about my habits. For my wife, who I love and adore, I just don't think some things are worth it. The woman can't close a cupboard to save her life. She gets a glass out, it's 2 open doors that she gets, and then she's going to go for a piece of silverware. It's an open drawer and now doors, to which I say from across the room, don't worry, I'll get that for you. And she goes, oh, okay. She goes, the things. I can't, but I mean, you'd think after 10 years of being together, she'd know, close the cupboards for
Yeah.
God's sake.
That surprises me about
Yeah.
her. Well, you guys listening, is there an annoying habit that someone you cohabitate with has? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
So this just in. Apparently, Sarah and I will never have a successful marriage. Who knew that? Apparently, I do several things to annoy her, starting with that I exist. Secondly, it'll be I put my hand. I'm a big put my hander in things, and I don't redo the cereal. It's cereal, for goodness sakes. Now, you shouldn't have to buy a piece of equipment to keep your cereal somewhere. Your cereal should be the way you want it to be. Anyway, if you cohabitated with someone that does something that drives you crazy, here's our phone number for you to call. 1-800-252-1025.
Yeah, did someone you cohabitate with have an annoying habit? I think everyone has had a roommate or a significant other that has habits that drive them crazy.
Absolutely.
And they can be with roommates. I had a roommate in, I think it was my freshman year of college, and we were staying in a dorm room that was designed for one person, but they had too many students, so it was two people. We had bunk beds.
Like jail.
Yeah.
Overcrowding.
Yep. And she insisted on bringing boys home and expecting me to then leave my house, like this tiny little jail cell.
Right.
So she would not stop bringing boys home. Like, can you go to his house for once?
Well, here's the thing that I would say that she's in college, and that's kind of expected, isn't it? You're going to bring home boys? It's certainly expected you bring home girls.
Yeah, but not when you have nowhere to go and there's another person living with you.
You guys didn't have like a sign?
Sign,
like,
a tie on the door?
I'll hang a sock on the door.
So you're 17 years old and someone hangs a sock on the door. Where are you supposed to go as a girl?
I don't
figure
know,
it out.
But otherwise, you're getting involved. You're in the way of somebody getting laid at 17. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Well, she should have gone to his house.
So I think she should be calling the show right now and talking about
So I had a
the person she
I get
cohabitated with.
lucky, I'm 17 years old. I'm in college, first time away from my family, and my roommate doesn't want me to get any.
Right.
800-252-1025. Did you cohabitate with someone who had an annoying habit?
You nailed the spirit of the question, just you're on the wrong side of
Yeah,
it.
that and somebody nailed your roommate, which was on the right side of it.
Man, she got around, that girl.
Yeah.
Creepy Brian in Chicago.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Morning, sunshine, morning, moonshine, morning, Tori.
Good morning, Brian.
Nice to hear from you, man. How is it in Chicago right now?
Yeah, it's like 18 feet of snow and cold.
Yeah.
That sounds normal.
Yeah. So what do you got for us, Creepy Brian?
My wife leaves the lights on and when she leaves the room, and it drives me nuts. When I leave the room, I turn the light off. Sometimes she's still in the room when I turn the light off.
Okay, I'm not. You were winning. You were winning, and then you just kept on the talking. I leave the poor woman in the dark.
That's something that drives a lot of cohabitators absolutely crazy, leaving the lights on.
And now there's a fix for that. I don't know if it's the same in the ladies' room as it is here in the men's room, but when you walk into the men's room here, it's pitch black. And all the lights turn on because they know you were there, and they turn off when you leave. What?
Motion detection.
Motion detectors. Yeah.
I've had that happen, and if you've been drinking beer, it'll just turn off on you because you're not done yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, because you stood still too long?
Yes.
She didn't stand there.
Right.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Edie in Kirkland, have you cohabitated with someone with an annoying habit?
Yes. Drives me nuts every time. I always remind him. You know those fancy old K-cups that we have these days?
Yep.
He loves to make his coffee in the morning, but forgets to throw the cup out. The little cups.
Well, you should get the less prehistoric coffee maker because the ones maybe you're talking about two different things because the one we have, when you open it up to put in a new K-cup, the old K-cup flips upside down and drops into a drawer.
Oh, wow.
So they throw them out. The ones here, everyone I've ever seen does that.
I've seen them both ways, but even if it does go to that magic compartment in the
Then you
back,
have to throw that out.
Someone's got to clean that out. And that's a workplace complaint as well, that if you don't have that one, when you make your coffee, throw your K-cup out. You don't have to touch someone else's used K-cup. Ew.
It's not, you don't drink out of it, Sarah.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Rob, the Canadian, calling from Redmond.
Wow, cool. A Canadian. What's up?
Hey, guys. So my wife has this annoying habit of getting mad at me for leaving the toilet seat up after I go number 2.
Yeah.
1, whatever it is.
1. It's 1. Because otherwise, I've never had to tell a grown man this before, but you're doing that wrong. So yeah, you mean number 1.
In Canada, it's a little different.
And Rob, what do you say to her when she yells at you?
Well, so...
What's the word? What's the 5-letter word?
You're never gonna get it. Ask
5-letter
me.
word.
Ask me.
What
I'll
do
play.
come on, Rob. What's the 5-letter word you say?
I have no idea.
Begins with an S.
No, this is worth it, I think.
You got me, sir. I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
better say sorry.
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 All right then.
Oh, Rob.
Sometimes, welcome to my world.
Yeah. You know, how sad is that he did not know what to say to his wife when he does something wrong?
Well, I don't think he knows the comical thing that we were begging for him to say sorry.
Yo, in Olympia, have you had cohabitated with someone who did something annoying?
Hey, good morning, you people.
What do you mean?
Hey,
what do you mean, people?
Well, I love my husband more than life itself.
When you have to start like that.
Yeah.
Until he shaves over the sink and leaves hair in it, and then I want to choke him out.
You know, mine does the same thing.
You know,
leaves the hair everywhere.
That's where, she bugs me because she won't close cupboards and stuff. But I trim my beard almost every morning. I want it to be the length of my sideburns, very short, groomed beard. So every day, my sink, because we have two sinks, is littered with hair, and I never hear a thing about it till it's clogged. And then she just asks for Drano and doesn't even yell at me. So that's where she's good.
Wow.
Where she's bad, she won't change the toilet paper roll. What's wrong with you? And I'll think that the one square that's on there, I think she nicked it and stuck it back on the roll just so she won't have to change the toilet paper roll.
Have you cohabitated with someone who had an annoying habit? That's what we're talking about. And let's talk to Paul in Spanaway.
Hey, Paul.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my wife still to this day has got a very bad habit. She goes to the bathroom in the morning with the lights off and blows it up and doesn't spray or anything.
Well, your wife's gross.
Oh, my heavens to Betsy.
Well, you know what? I don't know about the in the dark. I don't know. It'd be just because that's a fine part of my day. I could get a wreck it in the dark.
In the dark seems a bit odd.
Yeah.
This wasn't me, but my boyfriend at the time, his father's girlfriend, we would go visit and stay with his father. She would, every morning had the same routine where she would do that, smoke a cigarette, and then not flush.
What?
Yeah.
She should be arrested.
Yeah, that's
day.
insane.
That's insane.
We were hoping they'd break up. It never happened.
That doesn't break you up?
I broke up with him. I couldn't take it
Yeah,
anymore.
you gotta go, man.
Brian in Fife, did you cohabitate with someone with an annoying habit?
Used to work for a marketing company, and we also at the same time had what we called them, they were carnies. They would set up tents and do the food side. Well, I ended up having to room with one of those carnies.
Oh my God.
He'd come in. It was terrible. He would come in at night and he'd go take a poop, and then he wouldn't wipe himself. He would go jump in the shower.
Oh, Brian, you're being really kind of vulgar at this point.
I don't know. I don't know that it was grosser than anything else we've said on this show. But I can see it. First of all, who's rooming with carnies in the first place?
Right.
I actually had some intimate time with a woman carny whose name was Gorilla Girl.
Oh.
I gotta tell you.
Oh.
She had a jumpsuit. That's all I know. She has a big woman who wore a jumpsuit. Those are my prerequisites.
Paul, did you cohabitate with someone with an annoying habit?
Well, you guys know that my parents live with me now.
Oh, yeah.
And they live in my house. I pay the mortgage, but that doesn't stop them from the annoying habit of still trying to parent me.
Right.
So last night, I'm loading some boxes out into the driveway, and I have the door open. I'm walking in and out of the door. And my dad's telling me, hey, you're letting all the heat out. Shut the door. And I'm like, it's my heat. I pay the power bill.
I don't know. I got to side with your dad on this one. You are letting all
He's
the heat.
talking to him, though, like he did as a kid, where
Right.
it was his house, and he was paying the bills.
Apparently, he didn't tell him that at least effectively when he was a kid. Because I do everything. When for example, I took this hot sauce out this morning out of the refrigerator. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. It's got a number 7 on it. Is that really hot enough? And I'm fooling around. And Amy says, are you going to close that? You're letting all the cold out.
Yeah.
And she was right. Annoying, but right.
I also think that's how he thinks global warming works. That like it's just us pesky kids letting all the heat out
of Earth.
Right.
Derek, have you cohabitated with someone with an annoying habit?
I've lived with girls who have the super annoying habit of being there next to me every single morning when I wake up, and it's a constant reminder of how much I've settled and how I should just be out looking for something better. I just want to feel like a Disney princess sometimes, okay?
I gotta tell you, I can't tell you how many times a day that I look at you and think, I could get something better.
Right?
What do you guys think? Time for some pancakes?
Yeah, pancakes.
Pancakes. It is time for you to win some pancakes from our friends at IHOP. And remember, they aren't just about pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, all served with a side of Pancakes. Caller 10 right now at 800-252-1025 will win a $25 IHOP gift card. Call now.
Hey, a quick congratulations to our pal George in Sultan. He's the big IHOP winner.
This traffic report is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino on I-5 southbound at Highway 520. We had an earlier accident, and it has been cleared, but you're still going to see about a 15-minute delay And on I-90 eastbound as you approach Mercer Way, we have an accident currently blocking 2 lanes on the left-hand side, but on the right side, there's 2 lanes getting by, so the delays aren't too terrible yet. Celebrate Lunar New Year with a chance at over $1 million in cash, a brand new Ford, or a trip for 2 to Hong Kong and Beijing. The fun starts February 10th and goes through February 18th at Snoqualmie Casino, above it all. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey, it is my pleasure to talk to you about 3010 Weight Loss for Life. Why is it such a pleasure? I will tell you why. Because one of the biggest dramas in my life, and I've had a few, but the longest lasting one, I will tell you that, is my weight. I was put on a diet at the age of 12, pretty humiliating, embarrassing all the way around and all the way through high school and then into my adult life. And sometimes I lost weight, sometimes I didn't. But what was constant was I always gained the weight back. And now with 3010 Weight Loss for Life, that doesn't happen. I lost my 40 pounds. I keep it off, and that's just the way to go. And you can do that too. And it's 10, 20, 100 pounds. I saw our producer, Paul, lose 86 pounds with the thing. So tens of thousands of pounds have been lost with 3010 Weight Loss for Life. And it's just not nutritional guidance. It's more. They have a devoted team to help you with the process of learning new reasons, how to eat, when to eat, what to eat. And it's really quite simple. And then you go there and they hold you accountable and they tell you how you're doing, which, by the way, if you follow the plan, you're always doing very well. Go to 3010 Weight Loss for Life. Here's their phone number, 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010 or 3010weightlossforlife.com.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Taco Bell. It's going to be another cold and clear day, sunshine with increasing clouds this afternoon. You're going to see some highs in the mid to upper 40s, and it's currently 33 degrees downtown Seattle. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. Well, the movie is shrouded in mystery. Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries, covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese, are very real and delicious. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says it's investigating a deputy who shot and injured a man who was armed with a hatchet and other weapons near Granite Falls last night. This happened about 8:30 p.m. A 34-year-old man told a friend that he was suicidal. That friend then called police. When they located the man, they made contact with him. There was some sort of altercation, and he was shot by deputies. Investigators at the scene have recovered multiple edged weapons, including a hatchet, and nobody else was injured. We do not have an update on his status.
I would say this, if I'm in charge of the world, and I am, if he gets, that deputy gets in trouble because the man saying, let's say, didn't have a gun, they don't find a gun, I'd shoot a guy with a hatchet. Who wouldn't shoot a guy with a hatchet?
Yeah.
You can throw one of those.
It's scarier. Yeah, you can. I have a friend, actually, that can throw a hatchet. Joe Lando from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. People throw hatchets in bars these days. That's an actual thing. So I don't want that poor policeman to feel too guilty. A hatchet's frightening. That's where you get the expression axe murderers, from people with axes.
A fender bender at a Factoria car wash escalated, and punches were thrown, threats to kill police were made, and a stun gun was eventually used. A 40-year-old was arrested, and his car, a red Chevrolet Camaro, was impounded. He had a custom license plate that read dirtbag.
Okay, there you go. You can shoot that guy. If that comes out and you need to tase that guy. First of all, a 40-year-old man with a red Camaro, you shoot that guy right away. But secondly, that guy sounds like trouble. And then you add dirtbag. That guy wants to earn that nickname or whatever it is every day, all the time.
If you're enough of a dirtbag that you know you're a dirtbag, there's a problem.
If you're the one guy that went to see Joe Dirt 2, you should be able to be shot.
We've talked about being at the car wash before and that it can be sort of anxiety fueling. And this happened because there was a little fender bender. There was a rear ending of the car while they were both waiting in line to go through the car wash.
Yeah, I find it stressful. Until I got here, I'd never been through one of those things where there's an actual sign that says relinquish all control.
Yeah.
Who the hell's willing to relinquish all control ever about anything?
Oh, the ones where you have to drive your wheel into the track and it pulls you through. I hate those.
It's right here. It's right here on 15th or Elliott, whatever it is when you walk outside our door, Brown Bear.
Right.
And we go there all the time because we figured it out now. But it's scary. I'm like an expert now, and it's still scary.
This was a black bear, and the police arrived at the scene, had to use a stun gun to arrest the dirtbag.
Is that different than brown bears? There's black bear ones too?
Oh, brown bear. Did I say
around
black
here.
bear?
Oh, yeah.
Just two different kinds of bears.
I thought I had the wrong place.
A black bear's smaller than a brown bear, I think.
Black bears are smaller than brown bears, yes.
Well, I'm glad we worked this out.
Me too. Investigators say the crash of that Russian passenger plane that killed 71 people on board may have been caused by the pilot's failure to activate heating for pressure measurement equipment. That resulted in flawed speed data. The Interstate Aviation Committee this morning said after studying the flight recorder after Sunday's crash that they said that the pilots likely saw two airspeed indicators, and the flawed indication came because the pilots failed to turn on that heating unit. They put they put the plane into autopilot right after takeoff. Then they looked and saw the speed data and went, uh-oh, took manual control, and then the plane plummeted into a snowy field 6 minutes after takeoff.
That's sad.
A car thief got into trouble when he could not get the car to restart. He stole it. He drove away. This person who left the car did what you do, what you're not supposed to do, turned it on to heat it up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is Minneapolis.
But can I tell you about your Kia and my Jeep? That won't work with our cars. You push the button that starts it up. You can't drive away with that. It'll go, wee, 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 key fob not found.
Yeah.
That's the way it sounds, by the way, too. It's the
Now-
old-fashioned kind of guy. Where somebody's got to leave the keys in it.
What I've failed to figure out though is if the car is turned on and I leave, you're telling me that my car will turn off?
Your car? No, not for about at least 10 minutes.
So
But you can't drive away with it.
you can't put it into park. I mean, you can't put it into drive or reverse.
I've never really tried, but you can't go more than 50 feet.
And that alarm is annoying
Yeah.
enough that
The
you
alarm
don't
is
want it.
annoying.
Yeah, no, you can't drive that car. If you push the button like I do from the kitchen every morning and it starts up the car, first of all, if you're not out there in 10 minutes, it will shut up after a while. But if somebody tried to steal it, no, they couldn't even get in. It also automatically locks your doors.
Well, I don't know what kind of car this was, but they turned it on.
It's every other car, but for 2016, probably. It's just a normal car.
They had an auto starter and then warmed up the car. When he went out to get his vehicle, somebody had stolen it, drove it away. And he calls the cops because he gets a phone call and said, I've got your car. We're at a glass repair shop and we're trying to fix it. Can you tell us how to start the car again?
The thieves knew his phone number?
Thieves probably from the glove compartment figured
okay.
out, you call 411 and they...
By the way, have you tried that recently?
No.
Nobody wants to help you anymore.
No?
No, there's 100 times I've changed my mind about the business I'm trying to call because it's just too much. Because first of all, the people aren't here anymore. The lady you're talking to or the man you're talking to is not in Seattle. They're in Cleveland. They just all work for a big, crazy phone hub.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got their number, but he did and said, I've parked the car. I can't get it to start again. Can you start the car for me? And that's when that person called the cops who went and arrested them. They couldn't get the car started again, called the owner.
Right. It's exactly what I was just telling you. He drove away. So I guess that guy found a way in and the car recognizes that the keys aren't in it and shuts off.
A motorist led Kentucky police on a high-speed chase, but she had a good reason. Connie Lynn Allen, age 52, of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, told the cops who eventually did stop her that she had died 6 years earlier and had the authority from God to speed.
Well, I believe her.
She said her name's not Connie Lynn Allen. Her name is Mother Mary.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
She attained speeds of more than 120 miles an hour. She told them...
She's not afraid of dying because she already died 6 years ago.
She's already dead.
I think that's a quote from about 25 movies. I ain't afraid of dying. I've done that already. That's definitely the irreverent, or that's definitely one of those.
She's facing a whole slew of charges. No word on if Mother Mary was under the influence of any intoxicants or she died 6 years earlier.
It's kind of a miracle she didn't get killed, but she was probably expecting that. What are we hearing there, Derek?
Crazy Mary by Pearl Jam.
Nice, man. Nice. And by the way, I was only kidding. I would never think I could get a better deal than you. I love you.
I know, thanks.
I'd trade
felt
Derek in a heartbeat.
You're an ass.
A 16th century oil painting that fell into Nazi hands during World War II was returned by France's government to a Jewish couple's heirs. The Flemish painting, the Triptych of the Crucifixion, is attributed to Joachim Patinier and sat unclaimed in a French museum for 7 decades.
Wow.
Now they figured out its provenance, and the French culture minister presented it to the grandchildren of Hertha and Henry Bromberg, who had to use it to escape the Nazis.
What, use it as a bribe or something?
They used it to secure passage to flee from Nazi Germany. They made it to the United States. They survived. They had children, and now these grandchildren got the painting back.
Did the grandchildren sue for it, or did the French just go, hey, we've got this, who owns it?
They just finally figured out whose
Did you ever see that
original
movie?
owners it was.
You ever see the movie Woman in Gold, I believe it was? I think maybe Helen Mirren, and she wants a painting of her grandmother back, but the museum won't let it go, and she says it's a true story. It's based on a true story. That happened. I think it's stopping now. Just people have gone through it so much. But can you imagine the balls it would take to fight against the one that Nazis took your grandfather's painting, and you're going, nah, it belongs to the museum now. You got to get rid of all Nazi
Finders,
stuff.
keepers, losers, weepers.
Extraordinary weepers.
I hate to say it, but there is another pretty gross story in the news. Earlier, we had the woman in Oregon who had cowworms coming out of her eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, pediatricians in Los Angeles say they were treating an 11-year-old boy's skin abscess when they made an unusual discovery. a live snail living inside the wound. They said this is very unusual.
It sounds very unusual.
It's being published in medical journals. He went to the pediatrician ward with a skin abscess. He says he scraped his elbow while playing at the tide pool on the beach.
Maybe he should have played in tide. Got you again.
Every time.
Every time. Sometimes better than others, though.
They were able to lance and drain the abscess. Then they found the object, which was a checkered periwinkle marine snail that was alive in his...
Yeah, that's fairly gross. I'll give you that right now. That's a fairly gross thing.
But still, dip it in some garlic butter and you're okay.
You know it, sister.
So gross. Yeah. Remember the case, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, of a couple of people in Cambodia who were arrested for their behavior in Siem Reap. They had partied, taken pictures of themselves, acting like crazy people.
I think you said they were naked. Weren't they naked in a temple?
No, they were not. Oh. They were in a bar. They weren't actually on temple sites, but they were in the small town of Siem Reap, and they were clothed. It's hot, so they're not wearing like a ton of stuff, but they are like pretending that one of them's a horse, riding like horseback, and
on the other one.
Yeah, I'm not describing this very well. The guys were all lying down, and then the girls got on top and pretended like they were riding them. And they took pictures and video of all of this. They were arrested for that behavior. They have now...
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia, where things are very strict.
You can buy a human being in parts of Cambodia.
Not legally.
I don't know that to be true.
They have now decided to force them to leave the country. They were educated and let go.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, educated and set free. A couple of people are left. 3 of them are still in detention. They might face trial, but 7 of them were educated and ordered out of the country.
Does educated mean the bottoms of your feet were beat with a plank?
No,
I think so.
Sounds what it sounds like. Yeah. Is this PIL, Derek?
Dead Kennedys.
Dead Kennedys. Thank you. Why?
Holiday in Cambodia.
Nice.
Police arrested a man for trespassing and drug charges early in the morning after they say he was using empty vodka bottles to break into the Orem Public Safety Building, the police station.
Oh, okay.
Siosifa Lolohea was arrested on charges of a lot of things. He threw 2 empty vodka bottles through the glass door of the police building and then entered the building and then sat on the floor and meditated until police arrived. They said he was making incoherent and strange statements about people having nice shoes. They said his pupils were dilated. He was sweating profusely. He had cut his hand in the process, had no idea, seemed to not feel pain. And he was just trying to meditate in the police station.
I'm going to go meth. I think. Yeah. Not unheard of. George Harrison is known to have done copious amounts of cocaine so he could stay up longer to meditate. So, like, I think you get to a certain level of enlightenment or whatever, and it's not enough hours in the day to tell Krishna how much I love him or her, or whatever Krishna's up to these days. But it's odd. A police station, that's not where I would pick.
Every meth person on meth I've seen, and sadly seeing a lot of them these days, they don't stop moving.
Yeah, not doing a lot of meditating on that.
A lot of twitching.
Dancing.
The shoe thing's not weird, though. I mean, he's sitting on the ground, so that's at eye level, and he's just noticing things. Hey, nice shoes.
He's not lying on the ground at eye level.
Hey, you got nice shoes.
I will tell you this. The way to a woman's heart, compliment her shoes. I found that in the last 20 years. It used to be, back in the 20s and 30s, all the way through the 50s, compliment their hat. But then chicks stopped wearing hats, so you moved to the shoes. You know what that comes from?
What?
How to Pick Up Women. It was a book I got when I was like 12 from my brother, and it said compliment their hat.
A Pennsylvania woman's stop for a snack at Wendy's is going viral due to her unusual choice of transportation, a horse. Marcella Grachelak posted the video to Facebook. She and her horse Buns getting some snacks from the drive-thru in Pittsburgh, of all places.
When was this?
This was like 2 days ago.
Isn't it freezing in Pittsburgh 2 days ago? Wow. You can't do that to a horse. I mean, if you want to be stupid enough to do it to yourself, but
to go out in the cold like that?
The poor horse.
Maybe it's got blankets on. Maybe.
Maybe.
She said that she got him some fries, and she said the point is to know your horse's limits. My horse is very calm, liked to go through the drive-thru. We went and got something to eat, and then we went home to the barn.
And the viral thing is
a horse walking
well,
through
no,
a
who
drive-thru?
did it? Like did she do it? Is there
Someone
security?
shot this for her, and there's pictures as well from her perspective. But there's video that shows a horse going through the drive-thru.
Nice, I like it.
It's a little
and I can't
crazy.
see if it's against any rules. Like you can't walk up to most drive-thrus. They'll
Yeah.
yell at you and not serve you.
Some places don't want to serve you on horseback because I've actually done this a couple of times before when I was a kid.
Shot down though.
It was okay at the McDonald's, and Taco Bell did not like it. They did not serve us.
I was going to say something really mean.
Right. Oh, I think I know what you're
There
going to
you
say.
go, and I don't think I
Let's
should
not
say
say that. No.
Chance they're sponsors of this show, and we love them.
We do.
An 84-year-old woman was arrested on suspicion of shooting towards her neighbors because they were being too noisy.
Fair enough.
Betty Frances Sanders fired a handgun in the direction of children between the ages of 8 and 10.
Did they get off her lawn? I think I would.
Essentially, that's what happened. Noisy kids being noisy kids outside.
Yeah.
Only she decided to get a gun and pulled the trigger. She is facing a whole slew of charges: assault with a firearm and child endangerment.
Did she get anybody?
She did not hit anybody. 84 years old, her eyesight's not all that.
She should have gone to LASIK. She'd have gotten one of them kids.
I like how she complains about noise and then fires a gun, which is one of the noisiest
Nice
damn
call
things
there,
ever.
Derek.
True.
An Arkansas woman decided to raid her ex-husband's house because she wanted some of her old stuff and kind of wanted to wreak a little havoc. You know, you don't always get over your ex. You
No,
don't get
to
over
be
the
honest with
breakup.
you, I think that laws should not apply to like revenge on an ex. Like I would very happily burn my ex-wife's house to the ground and like laugh about it, but then I'd get arrested and go. But it's like it should have just been, well, you married him, you knew he was a lunatic, you knew he had matches, you brought this on yourself. That's what I think.
Well, she decided to go to his house and get stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this stuff. I'm just going to take stuff. I'm angry. Police arrived at the scene to find her attempting to move a dresser. They found several items that had already been loaded into her car. The problem with all of this?
Yeah.
He had moved.
Oh, she's moving somebody else's dresser.
She was stealing someone else's stuff. He no longer lived
Who was
there.
it? Left Eye Lopez from TLC that burnt her boyfriend's house to the
Yeah.
ground, like live on television. Girl's got a patch over her eye, standing in front of a burning house. You kind of had to admire her.
Bit of a badass move.
Yeah.
Ford, the car company,
Mm-hmm.
has been granted a patent to develop autonomous police cars that could ultimately have the capability to chase down speeding drivers and give them a ticket. This is a very in-depth plan, and you can see in order to get a patent approved, you have to have it ready to go from soup to nuts. So they have this entire plan all laid out about how this vehicle is going to work, how the technology would allow them to chase somebody and then write somebody a ticket. But they've filed this patent and been granted it.
Wow, crazy.
I don't know, like, how would you feel when you get pulled over by the cops and there's
It's RoboCop.
a robot?
Yeah.
I would not know exactly what to do, to be honest with you. I mean, what do? How do you try and get out of it?
I'd
I'm
drive
sorry,
away.
officer. See, but he's going to catch you again. He's a
Yeah.
robot cop.
Tori would start crying and crying, and robot would be like,
not gonna work
Yeah,
on the
don't
road.
care.
I got out of a ticket last week.
Are you allowed to tell us that?
I don't know. I guess I just did.
What did you do?
Yeah.
I wore white pants. I think that's it, honestly. I never wear white pants. It had to be.
I feel like in today's climate, I can't ask her what color her
No,
underwear are. But
can't.
let me just say, ask me how I got out of my ticket.
How'd you get out of your ticket, Danny?
I was wearing white pants, Paul.
Oh, what color were your underwear,
Black,
Danny?
so you could see every curve of me.
I saw a Seattle police officer driving on I-5 this morning at about 3:45 a.m. with no headlights on.
Oh, my goodness.
If he had pulled me over, I was going to give him a piece of my mind. Let me tell you.
I don't think that's completely legal. I think it's entrapment. If they pull you over and they didn't have their driver's license. But I could be wrong. You know what I saw a cop doing this morning?
What?
Everything great. Helping little babies. They were helping babies. They were helping blind people, which you'd think would kind of bug me. It didn't. They were just doing everything right because we love the police.
I'm still wondering
Taco
why
Bell.
Tori got out of
And
the
Taco
car for the cop to see she was wearing white pants.
I'm just thinking they're lucky. I wasn't, showing off.
It was quite the scene. There were two. I happened to drive by when she was pulled over. They called for backup. There was a second squad car behind at an angle, blocking off traffic.
Got to see the white pants.
I think the conversation sounded like this. Well, officer, there's no reason to use your baton. And he said, that's not my baton. That's what I think happened. Thank you, Derek.
When we come back from our short break, some very cool news about Metallica. A huge summer tour has been announced. KZOK artist, we will tell you about that. And Jerry Seinfeld facing a lawsuit, all next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. On 405 northbound in Renton at Highway 169, we do have an accident partially blocking the ramp, but the delay's not too long. And then in Seattle on I-90 eastbound as you approach West Mercer Way, there was an earlier accident that has been cleared, but still about a 15-minute delay there. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
James Hetfield of Metallica will make his big screen acting debut in the upcoming Ted Bundy film, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
Wow.
He can't play Ted Bundy.
He is not. Zac Efron is playing Ted Bundy.
That's actually kind of perfect casting.
I think he's going to be really good.
Well, he actually, believe it or not, he looks like him.
Yeah, he
looks
does.
like Ted Bundy.
Now, Metallica singer James Hetfield will portray Officer Bob Hayward, a no-nonsense Utah Highway Patrol veteran who was the first law enforcement officer to arrest Bundy in 1975 after pulling him over and discovering burglary tools in his car, but wisely suspecting much worse.
So he got busted in Utah? I didn't know that. I had no idea. A lot of killers come out of Utah.
Wouldn't you?
Killers and Mormons and Osmonds.
James Hetfield has done some other acting. He was in the Showtime series Billions and
Good show.
a couple of other appearances, but this is his first time on the big screen.
What's the drummer's name? Is it Lars?
Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, he's in everything. Every time you turn around, he's in another. And he's pretty damn good.
You would think, though, like a no-nonsense highway patrolman in Utah is going to be more clean-shaven, more clean-cut.
I don't view him as being dirty, though. He doesn't usually have.
He's got almost a spike beard.
Is it that long?
Yeah, he's got a pretty
got
crazy
short hair,
beard.
though.
Or he may trim it or even shave it if he's not hip to the part.
Yeah, why not? They grows back, right?
Yeah, they do grow back.
The Steve Miller Band and Peter Frampton announced they are going back out on the road. They announced a 10-week, 40-date tour of North America. They have had success touring together before and decided let's do it again. And yes, there is not one but 2 dates here in Washington. August 25th and 26th, Steve Miller, Peter Frampton, Chateau Saint Michel in Woodinville.
Oh, great.
Great show. Fun time.
Maybe I'll go to that one. I've never seen a show up there. I've seen both of these guys perform before, but that place, you've been there, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Neat.
Jerry Seinfeld has another successful show on his hand.
Hang on, Paul, what?
What is the deal with this guy?
Actually, that was money, my friend.
That was pretty good. Put that in your box. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee has been very, very successful.
Really funny.
Well, he is being...
I wrote a show called Koalas in Cars Getting Chlamydia, and nobody bit. Not one person bit on that.
No.
Producer Christian Charles claims to have pitched the idea for Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee to Jerry Seinfeld back in 2002 when he was working with Jerry on something. He is now suing Jerry Seinfeld and is seeking
$20 million?
Unspecified amounts of money. Now Seinfeld, is making $750,000 per episode on Netflix. Yeah. According to Jerry's attorney, this lawsuit is delusional. Jerry independently created this, and he only concocted the claim after it's a commercial success. This is a shakedown.
I agree completely. Jerry Seinfeld was a comic long before this guy showed up. Jerry Seinfeld has been collecting cars since the second he had an extra dollar. He's got the largest pre-1970 convertible Porsche collection in the world. So comedians in cars, if he drinks coffee, it's the trifecta.
Prince Harry and fiancée Meghan Markle have released more details about their May 19th wedding, revealing that the event will include a carriage ride through Windsor so they can share the big day with the public. They will marry at noon British time, 4 o'clock our time. It will be televised here in the United States. And this is something that they said they're hoping that this journey will provide the opportunity for more people to come together around Windsor and enjoy the atmosphere for our special day.
Now, I think Lady Di rode in a carriage that was made for King, and I don't remember, but it was like from the turn of the 18th century. They kept those,
pretty,
you never think about that.
Right.
Like, just because a king dies and he's gone and he's done, you don't throw out his carriage. You go, well, that's probably still important, and you house it and you give it to the next king. Some of those things that they can roll out that they've still got from the 16th century, pretty amazing. So she may be just riding in a fairy tale carriage.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA, 1-800-DUIOA. There is a big announcement being made this morning. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
We're both sitting down. What's up?
It's just my height. Leave me alone.
Starting this season, the Seattle Sounders will have a new broadcast partner for all regular season games and the MLS playoffs. We are proud to announce that our sister station, Sports Radio 950 KJR, will be the new home of the Seattle Sounders FC.
Yay! I just met the midday guy. He's on from 10 to 1, right? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Eli?
Ian Furness.
Ian.
And it's 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Chuck
Same
and
thing.
Puck 10 to 1.
So I just met this guy in the elevator for the very first time in that station. Guess it? Not bad.
Very cool. Sports Radio.
Oh, Elon's that guy that they returned to Cuba. Totally different guy.
950 KJR, the new home of the Seattle Sounders. The season kicks off March 4th when the Sounders host LAFC. Congratulations, KJR. That's a
Congratulations.
And good job,
Get.
Elon.
What the hell's his name?
Ian Furness.
Elon Musk.
He not only was very nice to me, but he's at least 6'6". It's like a guy you want to play nice with, I think.
They're all
God.
great guys over there.
I see him out in the hallway. He's ready to step on
If,
you.
if he's out in the hallway, you can't see any hallway. He's the size of a mountain.
He's very tall.
He's very tall. A lot of guy there.
Security at the Olympics Village in Pyeongchang was fortunately on its toes yesterday as a man reportedly tried to sneak into the compound with expired credentials from the last Olympic Games. The 24-year-old Spanish man will be charged with forging private documents. He tried to get into the Olympic Village, and they believe it was so he could sell souvenirs.
Right. So he wasn't
make a
trying to
buck.
do anything terrorist
No.
related. All right.
Initially, I would
Sell weed to the snowboarders.
I had assumed that he was going to try to hook up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all they
There's
do.
a lot of hooking up at these things.
But no, trying to sell stuff. Speaking of snowboarders, Chloe Kim has done it. She won gold at Pyeongchang this morning. She is 17 years old. She was assured of the gold after scoring a 93.75 in the first run of the women's halfpipe. She made history on her third run. She scored an amazing 98.25 with back-to-back 1080 spins on each side of the halfpipe, a feat that had never been done by a female at the Olympics before.
Right. Awesome.
So very exciting for her.
Hey, do you remember we were talking about no woman had ever landed the triple whammy in
the Olympics?
In the Olympics, do you know the last person to land it in an actual certified contest? Tanya Harding.
Yep.
Unbelievable,
Oh, wow.
man. That girl apparently was good at something besides beating people and being trash.
This win makes her the youngest female snowboarder to win Olympic gold, the youngest female Team USA member to win gold on snow, and the bronze also went to another American named Ariel Gold.
So, are there age limits? Well, I know that there's got to be age limits, right? You can't be a certain age. You
These
can't be 4.
I don't know if the youngest is probably 16. I don't know.
No,
she was 17.
A girl won a gold medal the other day. She's 15 years old.
Well, then there's your answer.
No, because I looked some stuff up, not on this. I was looking up just because that's how I spend my day. The youngest person to ever medal, not a gold medal. Ready? Oh, no, 10.
Right, but that was in the olden days. Those were the-
1896.
Yeah,
It was
I
that
don't know
one.
if they've changed that because there are records of the oldest and the youngest. The oldest is somebody more modern, but I don't know if they've changed those rules for people getting
You
hurt.
can't put a 10-year-old in the Olympics. That was, by the
Yeah.
way, on parallel bars, a 10-year-old.
Derek, see if there is an age limit on competing at the Olympics.
Right now, the current regulation, 16 is the youngest you can be.
The youngest you can be?
That's what it says according to.
Because I thought they changed per sport.
It is a sport by sport basis or event by event basis. 15-year-old for snowboarding. 15 years old.
Who
for
just
snowboarding.
won something incredible, 15-year-old. Pretty amazing. Anyway, the Olympics, this is a good Olympics. I like this one.
Shaun White officially qualified for the halfpipe final at the 28 Olympics today. He is now 31,
Yeah.
and his first run, he got a 93.25 and a 98.5 in
Oh my
his second, which beat out gold medal contenders Scotty James of Australia and Ayumu Hirano of Japan. He spoke out about this and said, I was really stoked to put that run down. He had a brutal injury last year, 62 face stitches. He had to go.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
He took off a millisecond early from a double cork, and that resulted him missing training and getting messed up.
Right.
62 stitches to the face.
His best friend, he's getting better. I watched this whole documentary on this guy who was maybe a bigger name than Shaun White before Shaun went to the Olympics in snowboarding world. This other guy, and he just goes up and misses and comes down, bap, pops his head. It doesn't look that bad, and he doesn't move. And he's one of those guys. I certainly won't do an impression, but he talks like a 3-year-old.
Oh, that's terrible.
And he was in a helmet and everything. It was awful, but he's a lot better now.
Olympic snowboarder Shaun White went to a South Korean restaurant this week, why is that news?
Yeah.
Well, at this restaurant, it's called Santa Burger, and it's in Pyeongchang. And he's a huge snowboarding fan.
Who is?
The man who owns it. He runs this restaurant when he is not snowboarding. He's a big fan of Shaun White and has on his menu a hamburger for $920. And it states on the menu, this burger is only for Shaun White. So Shaun White.
Awesome.
It's the Flying Tomato Burger, right?
It is the Flying Tomato Burger. He showed up at the restaurant and ordered it. Their minds were blown.
Yeah, but do they comp it?
I hope not.
Oh, you have to comp it.
No, he should pay for his burger.
Then Shaun White should sue for trademark infringement naming a burger after him.
He said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is real. This is amazing." The guy who runs the restaurant was beyond thrilled. And most people say that, yeah, he didn't pay for that burger.
Okay, good. But I hope he tipped.
A lot of Olympic action, Derek. Where are things standing this morning?
All right, at the top of the leaderboards, those naughty Norwegians have 11 medals. Behind them, those nasty folks from the Netherlands have 10. Crusty Canadians also have 10. The gritty Germans are at 9, and we are in 5th place with 6 medals.
Gritty is the best yet. Because I liked every one of your other alliterations, man.
The only other G words I thought of were probably inappropriate. So
go to drawer in there, mark G spot. Look in there. See
How about the Germans?
Oh, see,
yeah,
Paul
Derek.
just sits out here and kicks your ass.
that was a little cheesy.
I'm having a lot of fun.
And the crusty Canadians wasn't cheesy.
Oh, I liked that one.
In hockey, you always hope you don't need to use an emergency goaltender, but sometimes it happens. There have been some crazy stories of who gets called to be the backup. Now, the rules state you have to have a backup goaltender.
Backup to the backup, too, right?
If you don't have a backup to the backup, you need to get one. So you always have 2 people who are geared up, ready to get on the
real
ice.
guy and 2 fake guys?
No, the real guy and the backup guy.
1 fake guy.
Yeah,
no
and then
fake guys.
The emergency guy, he's not geared up when the game
Correct.
starts. He's just there in case.
When you play hockey, there
I
are
could do it.
2 people who are in their full regalia. If something happens and one of those goaltenders gets taken out, you need to put that outfit on somebody else. It very rarely happens that you need to gear somebody up. St. Louis Blues season ticket holder just 2 months ago had to put on the outfit. Had to. They have.
Wait a minute. Is he a hockey? Do they know he's there? And they just throw something into the stands, and whoever catches it has to be the goaltender?
You don't have to know how to play. You just have to be able to skate yourself out to the net and stand there.
It's just a body. You're never expected to
body.
play. There was a guy, I think, for the Rangers last season that he was the maintenance man, and there was no chance he's ever going to play. And then there was like a big game that they almost had to put him in.
All right, I'll tell you the reason I say this after I say it, and that is if you put me in a game in the NHL, right, as a goaltender, I can do almost as good as any goalie in the league.
Why do you think that?
Because we don't have a team. I can say whatever I want, man. Matter of fact, I'm better.
Right.
I'm better than Wayne Gretzky.
Well, when we get a team very soon, you will definitely be the emergency goaltender.
His new name is Wayne Not So Gretzky. That's what it's called. I'm calling him that right now. Here I go.
So what happens normally is you dress somebody and they just sit there on the bench. The Florida Panthers once dressed their coach because goalies got hurt. You have to dress somebody and they just sit there on the bench. This has just happened to the Rangers.
Oh, this is the Rangers.
This is the New York Rangers. And there's pictures that have surfaced of their emergency goalie. They gave him a jersey that said number 69 with the name Mick Backup.
Wow, aren't these guys wacky?
Nobody wears the number 69, and his name
apparently
is Mick Backup. And they said, just in case, if somebody's got to wear this, we're going to keep the jersey ready to go for Mick Backup.
Okay, I kind of like it, although I thought the guy had to go out there and give it a shot.
No.
You're in a lot of protective gear.
I mean, if the first 2 guys get injured, then yeah, you're out there.
Right. So if the goalie gets injured in a normal way. The backup goalie, I don't know, light falls from the ceiling and hits him in the head. And he's
In
out
the
there.
same game.
Yeah, the same 8 minutes. I'm making this up as I go. Then the backup can go out there and actually play.
Correct.
Oh, I want to play.
Because normally what happens is if your starter gets hurt, you pull a guy up from the minors before the next game.
Right.
So you never that emergency backup is never even a chance of playing.
I would happily mock the Philadelphia soccer team. What's their name again? The Union?
Union.
Because we're doing a bit with them, and I have the joke is that I'm going to go to soccer school, whatever the hell it is. And the coach made me do stuff. It's like a raid. Nobody can see me. Why are you making me run around? I'm coughing up blood. I'm smoking while I do it. But remember the only 2 goals I scored on Battle of the Network Stars?
Yeah.
Direct result of being a member of the union.
In other sports news, LeVar Ball is determined to see all of his 3 sons play together on the same NBA team and is reportedly making threats to try to force the Lakers' hands. According to the basketball reporter for the Lithuanian team, where 2 of the Balls are presently playing, he is making demands that if both of the other kids are not signed to the Lakers this year, then he will make sure that his son leaves the Lakers.
Is the kid good enough to make this threat?
The kid who's playing for the Lakers, I mean, he's starting
great.
for them.
Yeah.
But the other 2 kids are not great.
They are not great. Lonzo is presently playing and doing a very good job. But Dad wants the other kids, one of whom I believe is 15 years old.
And isn't one of them in a Chinese prison?
He got out and then was pulled out of college
by Dad.
By Dad.
He was pulled out of the Chinese prison and didn't say thanks, and that apparently ruffled a couple of feathers. This guy bugs me a lot. I'd like to kick him in the balls.
It's insane.
I think you have to pay him for that because that's trademarked.
It's insane to demand that a team take your kids as players.
Yeah.
And so the chances of this happening are, I'd say, slim to none. Want to remind you guys to get your tickets now for Whiskey Rocks, our 3rd annual Whiskey Rocks event happening March 10th inside the Terrace Club at Safeco Field. A fantastic evening. Over 100 of the finest whiskeys and bourbons from around the world. There will be live music. There will be entertainment. We will be there. And don't let that deter you. Get your tickets now. WhiskeyRocksNW.com. Don't forget they sold out before, so get them now.
And in further sports, I don't care which way the flying tomato flies as long as he lands on Steve Slayton. Steve Slayton, I don't really know. He's coming to this room. He's going to play a lot of classic rock for you because that's what he does and that's what you like. So we'll get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Money Tree. In Renton, you're going to see some stop-and-go traffic on 405 northbound between Lind Avenue and 44th Street, about a 25-minute delay. Other than that, things are looking pretty good. At Money Tree, they think cashing your check should be quick and easy. That's why they've been saying yes for over 30 years. They'll cash your tax refund check for only 1.9%. So